Roll4Tea. We're doing a Throwing Shades event with our crew. Say hi.
What up?
This will be the whole wrap up from beginning to end and see kind of how they're doing. And then, So, before we begin, we want to thank our sponsors. We got Dubby, and we've got our friends at Drager Arts. So, without further ado, we're going to start out with icebreaker questions for our lovely crew. Would you like to start first?
Yes. What was your favorite memory or cinematic moment of the campaign?
Timber.
Ooh.
Whole campaign. You can think from beginning to end.
If I'm going off of recent memory, I'd say when we went up to the Ember Temple. Well, just as it kind of threw things into a bit of a different perspective with everything that went on from the travel to the bottom of the mountain all the way into that cavern.
So that was one of your favorites.
Yeah, it had a turning point, and Viking I think had one of probably the coolest moments in there. They're jumping off the cliff and holding a dragon.
That was before the Ember Temple.
I thought it was right around the same time.
No, that wasn't jumping off the cliff. But I'm not. Am I allowed to correct him? Or are you guys?
You can, yeah.
It was the fight with the Draco Witch.
Thank you.
When my character used his sword to pry the wing off.
That's what I'm thinking
He
of.
fell from the bridge.
That's what I was thinking of.
R.I.P. temporarily, or
Momentarily.
he came back on a wing and a prayer. Arian, out of the whole campaign that you've been with us from beginning to end, what was your favorite memory or cinematic moment that you remember?
For my specific character.
No, just in general. Not Amari. For you, Arian, in general. From the very beginning to when you were in Barovia, all the way to the very end of the campaign. What was your favorite moment or cinematic moment?
We're going from start to finish.
Favorite memory or cinematic moment?
Cool. So the coolest thing that we did that I, remember is when we kind of combined our forces, and I it was like one of the first things that I did as my new character. Yes.
That's
when I
moment.
rocket shot into the church and was like, hey, I killed this thing. Does it belong to you? I'm sorry.
The first time we learned for the rule of cool, he allowed us to expend the Arcana to get that horse, with horsepower.
Overall, the thing that I remember the most is you feeding my dead character to not dead people.
What's liver good for?
Fishing.
But it wasn't for fishing. For the child.
You were like, I don't want it to go to waste. Oh, and I'm like, oh, God.
Come right out of the car.
Yep. Viking.
Oh, there's so freaking many.
What's the top one for your top tier?
I was gonna say that one. Unfortunately, yes, that was my character, but passing all the skill checks and then fumbling the very last one
to just get the necklace off.
Necklace off, it turns into a whole. Oh, I'm gonna do what a cat does best and be an asshole. Go to sleep.
And
then running away with his tail between his legs, making it back into the inn and screaming, "Sanctuary, I am fucked up."
You know what, we can. I'll let you go first if you'd like. What was your favorite? Being that you're the newcomer to the group, what was your favorite?
From what I can remember, it would be Sorry Door. It would be.
Sorry Door.
But I think my favorite would be whenever Bones hulked out.
Yes. Then you literally did a sorry door. Too bad he wasn't there for that one.
I know, I'm sad. I told him about it though. What about you?
Oh, so many. so many cinematic moments. One of the top tiers was definitely combining forces. That was like proving when you doesn't have to be in battle to combine a skill or an ability to do something like that. But I would have to say my favorite moment wasn't even cinematic. It was trying to have Nivera teach Yarrick etiquette, and he got so pissed at the table. He just got mad. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because he was trying to be like, I'm in a church. I'm in a church. I'm in a church. And you're just like, stop.
Somebody had to mention the word heathen.
I know.
I'm gonna
Alright.
add one more to that because I just now thought about it. The very first stream we ever did, the crossover event, and because here's why, because we had two different storylines with the party of me being a first time DMing at Cal U, mixing it with you guys and the chaotic craziness.
I still remember the tug of war match.
Yeah, that was that, and just having a lot of similar character types. I'm not gonna say similar characters, but similar character types that did different things. Battling it out here, because I think we had 2 clerics, 2 paladins, and a warrior. Yeah,
I was the smallest barbarian.
but still, it was fun to see and to see what those guys brought to the level of that. And what I think the challenge to me was making what I knew was going to happen in that storyline and match with what Frank had planned. So 2 different DMs working on the same storyline for 2 different parties, but it made it fun.
And now you get to do it all.
Now here's a fun question for you guys. What piece of advice would your character give to a younger version of themselves at the start of their journey? Now put yourselves with the characters. You can either do Balverix or you can do Yarrick. But for where you guys are at, this would be Ryo and this would be Amari. What would your character give their younger selves at the beginning of their journey, knowing everything you know now? What piece of advice would you give them?
You have the opportunity to stab. Take it.
Stab, 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 stab. Can you unlock this? Can you go to Viking if you'd like?
Yeah, I'll let the Viking go ahead and do it. I'm excited.
I'm not going to do Balverix simply because that character has been around so long for me. Now that it's come to an end, I don't want to get to that mindset anymore. That it's kill off.
So then, knowing what you know now as Yarrick, what would you give him at the beginning of his journey? Knowing everything you know, he knows. You're gonna find a wife and she's dead.
Jeez.
But she's
That got
alive.
dark.
Predictability is so overrated.
Very fair. Kept everyone on their toes.
I thought you guys really didn't know what I was going to do next this year. And so sometimes it was very laid back. Yes, this is going to be being called a heathen. Well, I'm flipping the freaking table.
You're well behaved in some of the instances, even whenever we were like, you gonna do something? You're like, I'm good.
No, I'm cool right now.
No.
I'm cool right now.
I've not been provoked. Bloody heathen. And
Alright, Timber, have you thought about it?
I have.
What would Ryu give his younger self? From the beginning of his journey, not his child self. Whenever, like, he
But
was in
with
the
the journey,
wilderness.
that
Yes, where he started all the way in Curse of Strahd.
No, it's once for rest. You're right. So it's not like I'm resting.
I got one for Ryu.
I was gonna say, hey,
You have a shot. Take it.
that's actually what I was gonna say. Hey, there's so many times that I passed up taking an opportunity to take a shot, and I mean that in a fight or
Literally.
in the literal standpoint of it, because there's numerous battles that I should have just relied on the bow instead of trusting in the spell instead, or relying on Sparky as heavily as I did. But
Drink more, think less.
me,
If you go to the underworld, don't go for a batch of cookies.
But pick fights you can't win.
but there's a few moments that I could think back to, like Barovia, when we started roll jumping, and there was times right we should have just taken a shot, but
1 and 3 extra space
Alright.
worth the 2 evasion and 1 agility.
Bones. What'd you tell your younger self?
That's gonna throw my agility into the minus.
So I remember you and me when we were coming up with some of these questions, you're just like,
You are going to find some devastating news about a friend. You're going to meet friends along the way.
say
Um,
words.
And at some point, you are going to have a knife to one of your so-called friends' throat. Do not hesitate.
Bones was so angry.
I know. I as soon as you asked her, I'm like,
And you know that Reaper job you want? Yeah. You might be able to get that back. Just have fun.
I think the smallest thing would be easily for Lucy. It's gonna be okay, and not everything is as it seems.
So overarching, kill first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Up for the next.
Only in D&D can you say that and it actually be okay to say.
Yep.
In D&D, where you could be a murder hobo and it's okay.
Okay.
I don't
What
D&D and Call
was
of
the
Duty.
most surprising plot twist or discovery for you?
Overall. Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Nocturne.
Was that your favorite plot twist? The whole,
That
like,
was one of the
bullet?
biggest ones I can think of.
I think me and you were like going back and forth on that, like the creation of Nocturne. Not in the beginning. Like whenever you were telling me about that, I was like, ooh, that was back a little bit.
Yeah, it was.
Like I didn't know at first, but then whenever we were talking, I was like, I don't want to be as strong as that needs to be for a kid.
There was significant. The first thing was just for comedy.
Yeah.
But when things really got ramped up, I was like, okay, this cat needs to flex, because had it not flexed at that point, you guys would have been TPK'd.
He's like, I saved the party. Now I won't put it milk. Peace. Head pets.
Yeah, you guys were getting real close.
Oh, we
to
were getting
TPK.
wrecked.
Bones thinks Nocturne is cool.
Not trying to something else.
Listen, and when he goes, I guess I could do this, and hacks up a hairball that turns into a fireball.
That's cool.
Just fireball.
What about you? What was a surprising plot twist or discovery overall for you?
Probably like the whole demon thing.
In general, from like you mean Nocturne as well?
No. When the
Oh, that.
Frank
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, by the way, you slept with the demon. I was like, I'm sorry. What?
Favorite
Demon
kind of
fucker.
Monster
I'll smack you
fucker.
right now. I don't care if we're on camera or not.
Monster fucker.
What was the other one?
There wasn't a plot twist. That was more of a mind fuck. That's
Literally.
fucking hilarious.
The other
We need a
one
soundboard eventually for this kind of
was
stuff.
when Frank did a swap, and right after we did all the rolls, because I was so stressed out about that. You have no idea. I was like almost shaking from the stress of having to do all those rolls pretty much by myself. And then Frank at the end's like, "Oh hey, I'm gonna swap this, and you get barbarics instead." I was like, "I mean, I'll take
Once you
it.
hit
It's not where I was trying to go, but I'll take it." And I think honestly, that kind of was the change of the course of the campaign. Was that particular moment, because I kind of threw a wrench in Frank's plans so completely that he's like, "All right, now I gotta pivot, because otherwise we're going on a kind of redemption arc instead of a, oh hey, you guys need to take this guy out." So I was like, okay, because I was all down for redemption arc. I was cool with that. Not whenever that happened. Yeah. So, I mean, Barbarics was a welcome change, so I'll take it. But that was probably the biggest kind of swap that we had was, he's like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, you didn't change his mind at all. It's, you get Barbarics instead. You free him." I'm like, "All right. Okay."
What about you? What was the biggest plot twist or discovery for you? And again, you could be either, since you don't want to answer too much right now for Barbarics. What about Yurik? Or no, correction, not for Yurik, for just in general as you. What was your biggest plot twist or discovery?
Coming back and actually being able to DM for a little bit. When this one finally got her fucking shit together.
Yeah.
Now, I took into account when I created that Draco Lich, everybody's abilities, everybody's features and traits, the spells that they rely on, its hit points. No, I'm, you know, no,
Stab.
yeah.
Stab. But I mean, also at the same time, I've been saving like all of my stuff because I was like, okay, if there's like an emergency, I want to have it. So there's a lot of my stuff I just wasn't using. Like I wasn't using a lot of my smites. I wasn't
But see,
using it.
I play a paladin. I've played a paladin. I know what a
And you
paladin
got
can
your
do.
growth through all that. You
Yeah.
started learning
That was, as a DM watching the player grow, that was more of the plot twist for me, because you were very reserved
Yes.
through the entirety of the campaign
plot
up
twist.
to that point. And it wasn't an in-game plot twist. It was like, holy fuck, she can actually play her character now.
Yes.
It was, what was it you said, Viking? Holy fuck, you actually, you came out of your shell tonight.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
I think mine would be Stalebone.
We'll fuck it out.
Which part?
Yeah.
Oh wait, it was Stalebone to the end, right?
No.
No, you played Zarkon.
Zarkon. I keep getting those.
The
two,
whole like, what the
Yeah.
plot twist of where
Yeah.
he went.
Yeah.
What about you? You know, that was actually what mine was too, because I the plot twist of
Him being like devoted, and then all of a sudden, nah, I want that.
no, it went from him being like, "Nah, we're gonna mess him up," to he came back and it's like plot twist, I'm on his side. Plot twist, I'm not really on his side. I'm just like whiplash.
Yeah.
Yes. And unfortunately, it was kind of what Eli had planned from the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Because
I know.
he told
He
me
was a triple
that.
agent.
Yeah, he told me too.
He was like, so listen, I know y'all don't like him right now, but just wait a minute. Just wait a second. And I'm like, okay, all right, we're gonna withhold judgment for now.
With the next question, was there a specific place or NPC you wish you had been able to explore or explore with more? As in, not traveling with explore wise for an NPC. If you pick one or the other, is there one specific place throughout that you wish you could have explored more, or is there an NPC you wish you could have explored more in depth with?
I have my answer ready if you guys wanna take a minute to think.
That's up to you guys.
The demon.
You finished.
Not because of that. It was
That's
just it was
a
funny.
whole thing too.
Yeah.
Like
That
the
was
little,
really
like the little
It was
bailiff,
just
like,
The Archduke.
Yeah. It was just like he was funny, and like then like afterwards he was like, but
Could you imagine if like
he's still
we
trying to send
pulled-
smoke signals
Yeah.
to her.
Sansa Stark and the Veil kind of deal for the final
We're
fight?
secretly gonna make a
I
story about that.
I have an extra
So-
question.
So-
Demon Paladin.
I have an extra question.
Yeah.
I'll
That would have been funny.
I'll let you guys answer, but I have an extra question that's not
That's
involved
that
there.
based off that one.
Yes.
Okay.
So, one of
Well,
the places I wish we had more time to explore was the one where we had with the castle, where we first met Fern and Stalebone.
Oh, that's
in
how I was
the
introduced. I
world.
forgot.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish we had more time to explore that,
Okay.
because there was a lot of the stuff that we didn't get to check out. No, but it was the way you had written it up, like, and you made it so much more intricate and interesting. It had me curious. What's over on this part of the city that we don't know, or what's over on this side of the castle that we never got to explore?
You know, when I created that world, a lot of the stuff that I had planned because of health issues, I kind of threw out. This was Frank and I's agreement. It was getting too drawn out. It was getting too in depth, and we didn't want to burn you guys out. So I think that means a lot to me, you saying that, because I felt that to be really half-assed, came in half-cocked, no fucking rhyme or reason to it.
But to me as a player, the storyline and everything in with it, because that was the one we had to watch for the Beast in the Woods, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so playing off of Ryu, he was a kid in a candy shop here. Here, you're given in a hunter or targets to look for in the woods, and not only that, you're giving him a city to explore that he hasn't been to. And we're going to all these different places, so it was fun for me to put my character into, because I had stuff to do, and that's what I think was my biggest thing is some of the worlds that we jumped into. There was more plot for different characters in the party to have a story arc in that world. So for me, bouncing around there, going to the apothecary, going to the black market.
Yeah.
It made the background that I wrote for Ryu come to life more, because that's how he lived. He was going in that underground kind of thing, and that's why I say that his nickname was the Ghost Archer, because everyone thought they were wiped out, but he was the last one.
No, you
No,
never.
you've never told us that.
I thought I did,
Nope.
and that's my bad.
Nope.
Nope,
Just
that's
finding
brand
this
new.
out now.
That would have been really neat to have.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're getting off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just Arian?
Okay. So real quick, surprising thing: the explosion from the spaceship thing, where I thought for sure y'all were dead. I was like, "Uh-oh, am I really the only one that survived out of that?" Surprising. Anyway, off topic. I really, because Castle Ravenloft was so freaking huge, I would have loved to explore more of that. Maybe not as my character,
Just to
but
be able
like
to
just
see
in
everything
general.
that's there.
But I'm a slut for a good castle, so
So you wish you could have went like creator
I was
mode
like,
and just
give-
like float through all this and see every nook and
Give
cranny.
me a good castle. That's why, like, especially when it comes to places that are very kind of Victorian, Ireland-esque, like kind of that realm of time period where they were building castles. I'm like, oh, there's secret passages and fake doors. And I'm like, I want to go look at it.
I can easily get
I
lost.
want to, because you two will love this, I will add to this. I believe it's Loot Studios who has done it, but they have 3D printed
Oh yeah,
the
I'm following that.
entirety
Oh, same.
of Castle
They did?
Ravenloft.
It's
Every
huge.
secret back entrance, every secret way, every room. The thing
It's
stands
so
like this
big.
tall.
Uh-huh.
It's 183 pounds of
What day are
resin.
they on?
Yeah.
I don't remember
what day
I
they're
think it's
on.
like 200 something.
Yeah.
But it's a long build
Say
print. It's massive, it's heavy, and it's
And it's
very interesting. And I'm like, I just want to walk through it. I don't, but I don't want to be attacked. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with the ick, but I want to look at everything.
Is there a specific NPC or place you wish you could have explored
Not
more?
NPC specifically, but race of NPCs. The Mongol folk from Barovia.
Yeah.
They were so far removed from anything we've actually encountered within D&D. It made it interesting, especially to get why, what need,
Why? What need?
that, and he laughs like a donkey. Just so out of place for anything that we've actually encountered, and they're not very violent folk because they're so mentally subdued that they just do what they're told, and I would have loved to explore that race more.
Mm-hmm. What you? Is there an NPC or a specific place? Oh, that's right. You did.
Yeah, I said that.
Honestly, because this one was very jelly, and she wished she was there. Because she's a big nerd and dork for Edgar Allan Poe and all things Edgar Allan Poe. I told her about that yesterday when we were on phone calls.
I'm so sad.
I loved especially the little, like, every time I saw that, I was just like, and then we got into the house and you hear, like, the heart thumping, and I'm just like, oh, I know what this is. Every time something popped up, I was just like, ooh, more. Give me more.
Now, the reason why I went there, and I know a lot of DMs, especially for us being content creators, try to avoid stuff like that. I felt that the stories that Poe created himself make for a very interesting world. If you think about it, they can all.
And it's not the whole story that you did that. It was little crumbs here and there that were sprinkled all through it. So it wasn't we go into this story and then that story, but it got us thinking.
Yes.
Is this what the villain is? Is this where we're going? Is that where we're going? I like that. You sprinkled it in. It wasn't just Edgar Allan Poe.
Right, and that's what I tried to achieve with that. Is I wanted, because okay, Murder in the Rue Morgue. If you have read it and if you haven't, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But what the actual killer is, you never see coming. And a lot of those stories that Poe wrote of death and murder never turn out to really be what you think it's going to be. And I wanted to take that essence of that mystery and throw it in there.
If you ever want to do like a little mini campaign and would like to have every single story and every single poem that man has ever written, I have those.
Hi.
Oh, you did too?
Yes.
I think the irony of that also
Mine's like a
was,
family heirloom with a giant ass book.
I will have to tell you something when we go
I
over it.
think
Okay.
the irony of that was we had actually just come back from Baltimore, I think,
Yes.
from visiting
Yeah.
the house
Yeah, literally.
at the time.
Because I think we were going into
It's
that,
so
that
tiny,
world.
but it's so little.
I do have a question.
Sorry, off topic. Sorry.
Specifically for you.
Okay.
Okay, it's not on here.
Okay.
Do you think that Amari and that demon would actually like have a chance?
We
of-
could write a book on that. Demon that got in love with the paladin.
Okay.
like would actually have a chance after all of that?
Viewers want to know.
Our sources want to know.
Okay. So I really don't know because so context we didn't really get into with Amari specifically is Amari was actually engaged. However, she was engaged to Vecna.
Oh, it was like an arranged marriage thing.
Yes and no. It's very a la Lord of the Rings second one, where Wormtongue is going after the guy's daughter, whose name I'm blanking on at the moment. I'm sure Viking.
Viking fill in the blank.
Are you thinking about Eowyn?
Yes, Eowyn. So Wormtongue's going after Eowyn. It was very much kind of that. It was he possessed a random good-looking dude of some kind of importance in the Radiant Citadel, and that was what he was trying to use as a conduit to kind of take over the Radiant Citadel.
Well, if that was out of the picture, do you think that they would actually have a chance?
I don't know.
Sending smoke signals.
I
That
mean,
would be
I'm not gonna put it past
Kind
the
of like
realm
a
of
forbidden love kind of thing.
possibly, but I mean, they also don't really know each other very well.
We get to know him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Wrong
that
side of
was
heaven and
that
right
was a
side
little
of hell.
different.
Plot twist. That's how tieflings came about.
Alright, that's funny actually.
If we're ready, okay, have the next question.
Actually,
You can title it Wrong Side of Heaven.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So, can neither confirm nor deny, but not outside the realm of
So if
possibility.
we just randomly find a fan fiction, you wouldn't care.
No, go
Okay,
off.
cool.
You
That's
write
good
it,
enough for us.
send it to me. I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay.
AO3, Wildfire, which do you prefer?
Whatever you want to send it to me.
Okay, cool.
You could also probably include the fact that she's part vampire.
Even better.
Oh my god.
All right. So moving on to the next question.
It just gave her stress.
What class, race, or fantasy trope are you dying to play next?
Let's go with our favorite person that loves tropes. Let's go with you first, Erin.
Oh.
You can pick any of it, or you can delve a little bit into a little bit of. Is there a class you've been dying to play?
See, that's the thing. At least in D&D, I'm not really sure because I haven't really gone over everything, but I do kind of want to do a more long-lived character. So I'm looking more in the realm of like elves or something like that.
Well, class, not race.
Oh, race.
Like,
Class.
have you wanted to try a rogue or a
Fighter.
wizard, a fight? Well, she's done fighter, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
So
you did.
fighter was kind of forced on me, and I didn't really
And
know
you
how to
attempted a
utilize
monk,
it well. So I've done paladin. I've done.
You did
You
a
did
splash.
monk.
Yeah, you
Yes,
did a splash
monk.
of monk because of Puck.
Yes. So I don't think I did fighter actually.
You think you do one fully magic like a sorcerer?
Honestly, yeah, and that's I think what I'm more leaning towards in
I can see you doing that.
Daggerheart is probably doing something more magic
Which
based.
is what we're doing next.
So honestly, I do like to do magic, but also I think I'd like to try doing, you know, like a ranger or an archer or something like that, because I like to have the ability to run away.
Ooh.
I'm like,
I got excited there apparently.
so I like to have the ability to, if stuff is going south, I have the ability to fly, run, or hide away.
Fantasy trope that you. My example, because we were dishing out things for our questions and stuff, and I thought what would be really interesting is even an isekai. Getting
Yeah.
dropped into a world within a world. Like, okay, your character may have been this,
Okay.
but
Listen, I hardcore eat up every single one of those villainous isekai, reincarnation, go back in time tropes so hard. It does not matter what it is. If it's on Webtoon, I'm reading it. So I've been eating that one up a lot, especially because it's like, oh, okay, if you had the opportunity to go back in time, what would you fix? How would you fix it? And a lot of them are like, oh, hey, I'd be a badass. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's go.
Timber? Is there a race or class you haven't done that you would like to try?
Sorry, I got a little aggressive.
You're good.
Race?
I get it.
I'm not.
Me too, man.
Like, you haven't done tiefling or gnome or dwarf. No, you did dwarf. You did very shortly, but you did.
I want to be a mushroom. Spores. Yeah. I'm gonna biochemical warfare.
That's literally.
Again, it's the only thing you can say in D&D or first-person shooter games.
Is there a race that you've been curious to play?
Race-wise, I have to think on that one. Because I've played a couple of different ones.
Well, it doesn't have to be answered. It's more or less if that you could pick or choose out of the question. That's what I figured because I've never seen you play too many different like classes yet. So that's what I was curious.
Class wise, I can't answer that one. And there's two that I'm interested in playing. Viking has done one of them. Andy did another. I want to either learn Blood Hunter or
Artificer?
Artificer, because I love making characters that make stuff, and Artificer is a perfect one for that because you can just have all this different stuff that you can give off to your comrades and party. You go, oh hey, looky what I made. Hey, here's a +1 longsword for you.
Now, real quick on the idea of tropes. Even if they are like, if there was one you could do, say, there's ones we can't do for legality reasons, Pokemon and things like that. But if there was a trope you could do, if it was in the realm of possibility, what kind of trope would you do for D&D if you could do a campaign, whether you're DMing it or just playing in it?
I would love to see you play a female character. I'm not gonna lie. Gender swap. Ooh, that'd be a good trope. Even for a session. For a session.
To be determined on that one.
Viking?
Okay, so I've been playing a while. I've played a lot of different races, a lot of different classes. I've played Ranger, Cleric, Barbarian, Paladin, Fighter. I have dabbled with Sorcerer. So I'm well rounded in play style. So there's really not any I'm not like I would stay away from Monk. I do not, even in games, I do not like the brawler aspect.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I play straight magic. That's just not how I am. I'd rather be the frontline individual. That being said, we are delving into Daggerheart. Having done this for so long, you start to become monotonous in your character creation. It becomes, you feel, okay, let me play this. No, I've already done it. How can I freshen it up? So I'm not going to spoil anything. The character I'm playing in Daggerheart
It'll be a find out next session.
is going to be different from all the other characters I've played. And then I already have one made for the next campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already reviewed it.
He's going to be interesting, and all I'm going to leave with is a wheelbarrow full of eels can still not plow a field.
Okay.
Is there a trope you wish you could do? Play in, DM, and
Not really.
not really?
Enemies to lovers.
Liz? Is there a trope you would like to try?
Honestly, I feel like it's
Or
such a
world
good
that you
one
wish you could do?
for
Because I know we have these
Curtis
discussions.
Strahd, Okay.
And I think that they would be a lot of fun, but
So, I'm a big horror fan. Clearly. I would love to do a mixture of Castlevania and Hellsing. Then BioShock. Fucking love BioShock. Then Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like that would be really cool.
a Five Nights at Freddy-esque would definitely be
Especially
a very interesting.
I could like, even if it would be like my first time DMing or something, that would be like, oh, I have an idea for it because I can dive into the lore more, and it would be really nice.
What if a group
And
of
I
final
love it.
girls ended up in Castle Ravenloft?
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Timber, you said you came on kind of round robin yourself. Do you know what trope you would do?
I actually do because
What trope would
I
you
was sitting here thinking more anime-esque. If I could do one for D&D, the Full Metal Alchemist.
That'd be interesting.
Just as we don't, it's not really magic. It's art. Dealing with like the magic and ability with Artificer.
Magic, metal, and science.
So
Yeah.
artificers,
Yeah,
artificers and fighters.
Yeah.
Not really like no sorcerer classes.
there's
and
not
stuff.
really a sorcerer or wizard, but still.
So you'd ixnay them out of like
Yeah.
the abilities to have.
Or I was sitting here thinking and going deeper into it. with one of the newest cards getting released for Yu-Gi-Oh here soon, the Capsule Monster World, because that was an interesting archetype for me to see. And now that we're getting into the TCG here soon, I feel like we could have some fun with that. Because now you have to, not only do you have to navigate through this world, but you also have to learn how to find and use these monsters.
Like a really like cool one, or like two, would be like One Piece or like Fairy Tale.
I agree. There we go.
Now for the really fun one. We're done with our icebreakers. Congratulations, guys. We're on to the really fun one. Now, before we rolled camera, we had these guys roll a d6.
Oh.
Obviously, Frank is in another room. He's helping two other people, which you will meet at the very end of this. That'll be Aaron and Kristen. They'll be joining us for Daggerheart. So Frank will pop in here and there whenever it comes to DM questions for him and the segments that follow when he DM'd. So you guys rolled, and it's kind of like Mad Libs, but there's no adjectives or anything. These are little, like, fun little snippets. So the first one, we're gonna go.
It's also called Spill the Tea.
Yes, this is Spill the Tea.
Oh boy.
So you get to be 110% gossipy.
Okay.
Blunt to the letter.
Oh.
This is going to be for the character we say, because you rolled your numbers. There's only 3 of you guys, so we bounced it around. Like, you guys get 1 character. You get 2 characters each, so it'll go back and forth.
Okay.
So for the first one, since we have Timber right there, we'll go with the first one that you got. And that would be Bones. If Bones was a breed of dog, which one would she be?
Swear to God, if you say Chihuahua.
Oh no. No, Bones isn't a Chihuahua, even though she was as annoying as one in there at the end. But no, Bones was, if I had to pick, I'd say is a mixed breed dog.
Okay.
You asked the right person.
Yeah, and between Border Collie and Corgi.
Why did I have Border Collie in my head?
Because like how the Border Collie is, it's a farm dog. It tries to keep everything together. There was points in time I could think of one, and where Bones was trying to keep everything together, but also at the same time just tried to be that. Even though as a bird was trying to be that cute and cuddly, the character, or so that's why I said it.
Arian would be, which one are you picking for her? You want to do another one, or do you want to ask the same question?
Let's do the same thing.
Okay. Which one are you picking for her?
1 or 4, or 2 or 4.
2.
Oh no, I don't like that mess.
Yerk.
Yerk.
Okay.
Same question.
If Yerk
What
was a
kind
breed of dog, what would he be?
Wolf.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Fair enough.
Or husky.
What's that?
Something northern and fluffy.
I think he'd be like King Corso.
That wolf dog. I forget what it's
Irish
called.
Wolfhound?
Yeah, that one. Maybe. That's the one I could think of.
Siberian husky.
That's all
Viking.
howling.
Yeah.
We'll go with the same thing. What about Ryu? What kind of dog would Ryu be?
Yorkish Terrier.
Jesus Christ.
Yorkish Terrier. Annoying as fuck. Every I'm not gonna lie, every kid. Eric's found you annoying.
Yeah.
Found Ryu annoying. Yarrick found Ryu annoying. Zior found Ryu annoying.
Dang.
Bones.
Well, Ryu thought Bones was annoying, so
Yorkies can be very annoying. Shut the fuck up and get.
So you could do whoever you want to pick out of there.
Oh. Okay. If you
You want to pick
Oh.
who you're picking on?
let's see here. Let's
Let's
just
see how they
keep
spill
going.
the tea.
I'm
Somebody
gonna
could
say husky
Okay.
only because
Timber.
it's one of the ones that likes to hunt.
If
and
you,
also
oh
likes
god,
to
this is
knock
gonna be
stuff.
bad. If you could ban Amari from doing one thing, what would it be?
Oh.
The face. She's like, watch it.
No,
We're gonna
it's just
spill
like,
some tea.
I'm gonna stand up to get a refund.
can he even judge to say
More
that
tea.
though?
What would I want? What I picked for Amari to
Speak
not do?
wisely, or else you're sleeping on a couch.
Spill that tea.
Yeah, the couch outside. We just got. Anyway,
Spill it. Spill the tea.
Probably cooler than inside the house right now. So,
Spill the tea.
Come on.
just answer the question.
if I could pick one thing,
Get out of my head.
This is Amari, not me.
Yeah,
so
Amari. There's
There are
one thing
certain
you would
point-
ban her from doing. What would it be?
oh no,
oh, nothing.
just waking up. Uh-oh.
May I interject?
Sure.
Okay. Amari's fucking interjections to everything.
Sorry.
No, that's not. This is the
Not-
character. Woman, shut the fuck up.
Amari.
So,
But-
it was the character talking.
That is the character talking.
Wait,
No,
is that Yerick or Balverix?
Honestly, I think
Alright.
most of the
Well,
interjections were actually me.
Viking's interjection will go to you. If you could ban Lucy from doing one thing, what would it be?
Operating
Grounded
on her
force of
own ever
knowledge.
again.
Yes, yes. Would you ban her from doing something? Or is there no?
No.
Okay, well your other one was Ryu. There's your rules.
I said talking, so
No, Ryu at times had very logical points, very much like Amari did.
Yeah.
Amari just liked to fucking go on and 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 on about it. That being said,
we love
I already think I know where this is
we
going.
forgot a character of mine that I didn't get to play. That I only played for a short time. Nell.
Oh, we were
yeah.
doing the ones that we have right now. We just interjected Yerick because it was like Yerick.
Well, I
or
played
Balverix.
Garrett at the beginning, Nell at the middle, and Balverix at the end. You tried to be the alpha with Nell. That a range. I think it was more so that I brought this character in not to outclass you, but as a ranger, nobody could touch my stuff. And looking at it from Ryu's previous perspective, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, very intimidated by Nell's abilities. He outclassed you in damage. Stealth was god tier.
Your stealth got stupid high after you and Lucy
Especially once
both.
we got training.
Oh yeah, I mean
After
it was already stupid to begin with, but after that, you know.
Yeah, you're over here rolling dirty
It-
30s.
It was stupid with Smooth Brain.
Had we had a more diverse party, you and I talked about this, having a bard with inspiration and all that. The buff Nell could have gotten from everybody in the party could have easily exceeded 100 in a stealth check.
All right.
you're gonna love this one.
Okay. He never actually answered the question though.
Was that? Oh yeah, you, sir.
He didn't actually answer the question.
Yeah, I
He's
never
so
got to-
afraid right now. Answer the
No,
tea, man.
uh,
The viewers want to know this
He's
tea.
scared.
No, he kind of stole all my thunder that was going. Was
I saved your ass. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
he kind of stole my thunder? But the other thing I would say,
Most of that
It's-
was probably actually me though. To be for real honest.
the only thing I would have said other than that would have been stop hesitating so much.
You're banning her from hesitating.
Yeah, because
You're not allowed to hesitate no more.
no, like Amari had numerous opportunities for different things. It took a fucking Draco Lich to get her out of her shell.
As a DM, I actually have to agree with him on this. There was a lot of moments that
I could have done more and I didn't.
as a player, you could have done more.
And
Yeah.
then she
In the
awakened.
moment, though, story-wise, it gave purpose, it gave sense to the overall composition of the story. So you're a little wrong on that aspect, but at the same time, you're hitting the head the nail on the head.
Arian. What about Satori? What would you ban her from? Not Grievous. Satori. What would be one thing?
That's a low blow. He can't even defend himself right now.
That's okay. He's oh, I swear. He's not paying attention. He didn't even hear it, so it's fine.
Messing with anyone's mind ever again. Because it was getting to a point where it's like, okay, really?
He went
Are we
from
still doing
being
this?
funny to 5.
Yeah. It went from being, oh, haha, haha, to real freaking quick. And it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, so now you're taking over, and now you're making my characters do something very not my character does. And I'm like, at that point, I mean, it's fine, like, if something was happening organically, but when you kind of take over and are like, oh, hey, I'm rewriting your memories, I'm like, no, stay out of my brain, please. Thank you.
All right. Well, then now with the next question.
No mind control.
Oh, no.
With our spilling of tea. Which one do you want?
Let's just keep going down the line. Let's see here. 3 or 6.
Don't die on me now.
6.
He already did that one, so we'll go with Bones. If Bones ended up in prison, what would be your first guess as to why?
Murder. Easy. That or she robbed somebody of a bunch of shiny shit.
Arian? Same question.
Desecrated somebody powerful's
No,
brain.
sorry, not that one. Sorry,
2 or 4.
He already did that. We're just bouncing
Yeah,
back and
good
forth.
point.
If Yarrick was in jail?
Yeah. What would be the first guess as to why he's in jail? He's in prison.
He got drunk and attacked somebody? Someone insulted your honor? I don't know. I mean, realistically, what would Vikings go to jail for?
Background.
Why is Lucy in prison? What would be your first
The
guess?
way that caused me to go. They got destroyed because I was meddling.
Ooh.
So many reasons.
I was tired.
Let me count those.
Lucy was quite the demented individual. I'm actually going to go. It's going to be involuntary manslaughter. That would be the charge.
Turns out it's an accident for sure.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
accidental discharge of the firearm.
Whoops.
That happens, especially with those types of
Yeah.
firearms.
I mean, she only had how many?
We want this one.
She sat down a little too hard and heard the shotgun went off.
She'd actually be innocent, but it'd be involuntary manslaughter.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. We can keep going. Okay.
Is there anywhere to not
You
be?
just did that one.
Yep, right back to that one.
Okay, cool. Timber. What's one thing you'd never let Amari be in charge of?
Directions.
She was the one that
helped
helped Matt. She really had to get lost. She was the
She
map
was
wizard.
the
I'm an outlander, dude.
Yeah,
What do you mean directions?
I feel like that would have been an
He
answer
wants
for
to
That was
Satori.
no. That was literally my whole thing. Is everyone was like, okay, show me the map because I can tell you where to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we already talked about this. If we didn't let Satori use the map, he held it upside down.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
good
they
point.
said Amari,
Not
not Arian.
Satori.
Okay,
Oh.
Amari,
Character.
not Arian.
Remember, when we ask these questions, it's how they have been played, not how they were created. It's how they've been played. What would be one thing that you would never let her be in charge of?
She don't listen to my directions anyway.
And if there's something that you can't think of, that's okay.
I honestly can't think of anything.
That's
I
all
mean,
right.
besides being a smart ass, but
You don't want to leave me in charge of being a smart?
no. No, my answer would have been something smart ass. I'm not.
Okay.
Then
Don't leave me in charge of smart ass.
that last.
No, why would we
Yeah.
need you to do that?
Yeah.
We have Yerk.
All right.
No.
No.
Arian.
Okay.
What
yes.
about Satori?
What's one thing you wouldn't let him
Yeah,
in charge
right.
of?
Everything. Don't leave him in charge of anything.
I'm gonna inject
He
on that.
failed
No.
so bad on the
These
one
ones.
job he actually had.
Alright, next one is Vikings. So that would be. Never did that one last. I'll do this one. What about Ryu?
Battle tactics.
No, at times he was pretty well thought out in battle tactics. I mean, a ranger, his ranger build was not very frontline fighter.
Oh, I just meant for everybody. Overall battle tactics.
Need I remind you, I'm the one that saved the party from TPK the one day.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
What would I not leave Ryu in charge of? Politics.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's fair.
You couldn't talk your way out of a wet bag if you tried with a blow dryer.
Like,
I'll accept that.
okay.
Ryu was real fucking bad at talking. I mean,
Yeah.
5 minutes later.
there is every time Ryu opened his mouth in a serious moment, that grave was a foot deep, and it was already 6 feet deep to begin with.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it ended at 25 at least.
We're gonna need some more time.
It might have ended up in hell. That's okay.
Well, we got two
Oh,
more questions. Two more questions for our spilling of tea. How y'all feeling so far?
This is fun.
All right. You want to read that one?
I want to sneeze. That's how I
So
feel.
we're gonna-
Oh.
Oh,
Now I'm intrigued.
I am too, actually. If Bones had a warning label, what would it say?
Oh,
Just plain out. What's the just?
oh,
What is Bones' red flag?
I might
Oh.
take your skeleton.
Don't die, or I might take your corpse.
warning, it might steal your bones even while you're still living.
Yeah.
Warning, might stab you in the back when you least expect it. Warning. Should I keep going?
Hide all shiny things from view.
What about Yerg? What's Yerg's warning label?
Wait, that's your. Never mind.
Not well with children.
That's the
Warning does not play well with children for Seor. For Yerg.
Ooh.
Warning may leap into an intoxicated rage.
The need for need.
Warning, do not mention religion.
Warning, do not call all heathen.
The need for meat.
Warning, do not throw stick.
Don't throw stick.
No, there was
She meant for the dog mentality. That was like a funny thing. Don't throw stick.
Don't throw
there was
stick.
no more protective than anything.
Yeah.
What's my warning label?
What's Lucy's
Yeah,
warning
what's
label?
Lucy's warning label?
Ugh.
She has so many. She's just colored red.
Caution tape is wrapped around the entirety. Like Lady Gaga's dress.
I was gonna say, you see all that warning tape right there?
2 words besides warning.
Mm-hmm.
Hair trigger.
Okay, you know what? We'll do one. You pick someone you have a warning label for. Yeah, anybody. If we didn't mention someone, we can't. I mean, there's only one person that wasn't mentioned. I think so. What would you give a warning label for Satori?
Psychosis.
No brain cell.
It's morning smoke, Brady.
Get out of my head.
Have a very
Narcissist.
smooth. Yes.
Yes.
Ego. Also, I threw that out there a lot.
I think the only one we didn't do, I'd have to say one for Amari. What's Amari's boarding vessel? Warning.
Yeah.
We'll follow you, even when asked not to.
Warning,
You
long-winded.
just fall asleep in the shadows somewhere, the dark head pops out of the corner. She's like, I want you to, it's okay. I got your back.
Make good decisions,
boy.
Oh no. Jinx.
Alright, if you were to have swapped places with Amari, what is something you would have done different, Timber? Of any instance, what's something you would have done differently? You don't have to go into full depth, but what would be something you would do differently that she had done? Or not done? Did or didn't do?
Yeah. I'd have used that, given that blade a few more nicks than she had done, and probably jumped into battle a whole lot sooner.
Arian, if you were to swap places with Satori, what is something you would have done differently? Or not have done?
Play him more smartly, if that makes sense. Like, more wisdom, making smarter decisions than
Not well one level city block.
Yeah, well, I mean,
4 city blocks.
basically, Satori just turned into a chaos gremlin. So
I taught him well.
that's what I'm like, okay, if I was going to play a story, I would be doing things in a more smart manner to make it seem like he actually kind of knows what he's doing instead of just winging it. Because that's pretty much what you could tell was he was just kind of winging it.
Ryu. If you swap places with Ryu and the mentality of him, what would be one thing you would do differently or you would not have done?
I mean, I didn't think about like the time I was thinking about like
Went for the divinity.
Listen to the party more.
Alright.
Not,
That has been... Oh, sorry. No, continue.
there was times
You have
that
to pause.
I was, because I'm thinking, there's times that the party did talk with you, and it's literally like the early Looney Tunes, in one ear and out the other. There was a lot of times that the party was actually trying to help you, to give you direction, or I should say, give Ryu direction. And Ryu literally shit on it.
I will admit, the amount of times that Bones had to explain about like the ritual and stuff to Ryu, that's whenever she started getting a little like ticked off and was like, you know what,
She had the Angry Bird thump.
yeah, it was gonna be okay. Do I just like him now or do I let him go?
Alright. So, we're actually going to go ahead and take our break. And when we come back, we're going to do what we call picking favorites. It's not what you think. So, you guys, go ahead.
Suck up.
Go to the bathroom, get some more refreshments, some popcorn, maybe brew some tea. What do you guys think so far of your tea? Do you feel like you get a little more understanding with a little bit? Alright.
Okay. We'll see you later.
Hey guys, Frank from the D20 Misfits here, the Dungeon Master of this campaign of Curse of Shadows, Curse of Strahd. Wanted to give a shout out to Dubby, our sponsor for this length, and probably for future. So shout out to Dubby there. You can pick up their lovely containers. And Dubby is an energy drink that has no jitters, no crash, helps you focus with a patented version of Neurofactor. Same caffeine as though as a 2 cups of coffee being the what it is. This shit works. I'm not just saying that because everybody says, this shit's a scam. No, fuck you. This shit's legit. So, W, like, kudos, dude. Like, I literally, and I'm not trying to bash fucking other energy drinks, but I'm a firm believer and supporter of Monster, and you made me change. So, kudos to that. So, you can check out W at WEnergyDrink.com. You can check out all those stuff. We have a whole bunch of different flavors, different cups. They just released a new shaker that is black and green that says W on it, and it is the purchase of the cup. They plant a tree. And that's that. They do have a lot of flavors. Some of the flavors are still on the naming is kind of cool. I mean, got like Pink Sludge, Galaxy Grenade, Dragonade, which is what we have at the moment. And it's like decent energy drink. Like it works. So I've had no complaints about it. I'm not that hyper. I just and sugar and rice. It's probably about So I mean, you can check out them and at purchase, you can use our code D20 Misfits 10 to get 10% off your orders and any future orders. So W, thanks for the sponsor, and hope to continue to grow with you as all adventure.
And we're back to Roll4Tea. This part is picking favorites. Would you like to kick it off? So this part is, these are favorites to each of you throughout the whole campaign. So remember, we're going to keep it short. Do you want to start that one?
Jesus. Okay. Let's switch up our order. Viking. Who was your favorite character in the party, and what made them stand out?
Now you can pick if one of them is one of your characters, that is okay. But if you have someone else, whether they're like how you had your all the characters you played, all the characters you played, same here, same with her. Out of any of the characters, who was your favorite?
And would that also add?
I I think it's going to be Navarra.
One D20.
Well, that whole ordeal was unscripted, unplanned, and you and I, as players, just ran with it and threw everybody forward.
This is risky.
You're welcome.
This is risky.
Could
I
also
still remember the thing. You're like, he's just gonna knock at the door, and he literally was just a snuggle buddy for the night. And it turned into more than just a snuggle, and it turned into more than just that. And then there were kids. I'm just like, okay.
You're welcome.
now there's a whole orphanage of them.
Arian.
Stillbone.
Fair enough.
Sorry,
Just-
Dole.
Just because comedic timing. Most of Eli's characters, he's hysterical.
It's a good
Timber?
backup in the pocket. It's an
oof.
option to turn into.
You can pick if yours is literally the same as somebody else. That is okay. It was your favorite character, whether it's someone you've played or someone else's played. You can even pick something that Frank's played, even though he's in the other room.
You know what? Then I'm gonna go Oazior just because was
Chaos Cat.
the Chaos Cat because we didn't know what the fuck he was gonna do that day.
You guys got 5 minutes or I'm burning the place down.
Underground, so it's like
Deck the halls with gasoline. Blah, 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 blah.
Timber. Wait, no, here it is.
Oh, okay,
Let's go.
Just because it was just like
Eli's comedic timing is just too good.
And
Yeah.
he's got it on.
I will admit there was like one time whenever me and Shai had like the cards during your one shot that Frank ran into like full speed into one of them, but I was laughing too hard and I couldn't bring myself to say it.
Oh, I don't know if you watched the end of my one shot, by the way.
I was told about it.
Okay. Cause
Yes. Okay.
What about you? One is one of my characters just because of how fun it was playing the Chaos Gremlin until she got yacked on, which made it even more. I'm gonna help you like alleviate yourself and just like try to like boop and get yacked on before I could even like because he drank 2 mutagens, which is like almost like
Oh my god.
it's almost like magical Odin. He tried to like overpower himself, and then he had to try to get that out of his system real quick, and he ended up throwing up before I could help him throw up. So I was like mid going like this and got my,
Oh.
and then I slid through the taverns.
Yes, I did.
It was worse because that one in there was like the mouse.
Yeah,
A
mouse
live
just
mouse.
crawl out by it like alive.
But one of my
Yeah.
moves,
But I would have to say the other one that I liked was definitely Stelvon. Stelvon was definitely like no, sorry. Stelvon is a favorite, but Tabitha. Tabitha was the part.
yeah.
Tabitha.
And I explained to her how we now learned we instead of just doing spells and we've heard about flavoring them, we kind of couldn't like click it well. Like just but here's how they actually look, including his homunculus. Well, from homunculus, that was a giant gummy bear. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It worked.
We're gonna go for the middle. Who was your favorite NPC?
Your phone, take a picture of werewolf, please.
I'm excited.
There have been a lot, so I'm like, what is it? Probably the old lady that ran the dress shop in the
Original
world.
Princeton.
Yeah, that's probably who it was. Just because all the other NPCs were kind of or they were annoying. So I'm like,
It's okay.
Like
it. Favorite NPC overall? Who was your favorite?
So sorry.
You don't have a favorite NPC? If you could just name one of your favorites.
Not really. After
See how our video is getting.
after doing this for 5 years, it got to a point that I was just kind of burnt out, and I wanted it done and over with. And I felt that I gave it my all in the end, and this is kind of getting off topic, but at the same time, I was done. This campaign ran so long, I was just burnt out on it.
So Viking's favorite NPC is Cookie.
But don't be putting words in my mouth.
Timber, who's your favorite NPC overall?
No.
Fizbin.
Fishman is definitely a favorite because he just popped in randomly. But what was the name of Isaac? That's it.
The one with the demon hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we hated him for so long, and then he ended up being in a character that we ended up getting along with, and just seeing how that story arc progressed, even though it was an NPC.
Do not remember her name. But it was whenever we were in that desert place.
Oh, you mean
The
the
guard?
Yeah, doing cartwheels with
the flaming dragon or whatever.
flaming ass. Yeah.
Oh!
That one.
My
yeah.
greatest was a chaos.
I would have to say in Barovia, the old lady who ended up being like this old lady monk.
Oh! Oh wait,
Do you remember?
Didn't she turn out to be like
Esmeralda's mom or something
yes.
like that.
I thought she was
Not Esmeralda's
Esmeralda.
mom. No, it wasn't Esmeralda. It was what's her name's mom? The
I know who you're talking
Strahd's bride to be. Ended up
The
being her mom or whatever.
oh.
I don't remember.
But no, I
Oh,
loved
my
it because she just was like this old crone, and then Ryu tried to mess with her, and she's like bam, 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 bam.
No, it wasn't me trying to mess with her, or it was Noella.
Oh, that's right.
His
No,
throne
she
is
got
under
that
the bus.
Yes, and I got eat with the cane. And how can you be so rude?
Oh. Yeah, because you were apparently getting to marry Noella. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Alright. Alright, got my guess for that one. What location or world did you like the most? Becky.
Come back to me on that one.
Mhm.
I want any minute.
Simba?
Kind of going off of what I said earlier, or with the world that I wish we could have explored more, or was the one when Viking had with the castle on going through the town on those. What was it? The ink creatures?
Yes.
Yeah, so that one was the Edgar Allan Poe-esque
Yes.
world.
Yeah, and I just it was again for me as a player that was like my kind of crack to play in there.
I
Alright,
really
Erin.
liked the desert pyramid world just because I'm a big fan of Egyptian mythology to start. So I was really big on, oh hey, pyramids, cool. And then honestly, we had so many things happen in that particular world that I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And we also had so many different elements because we had kind of like the urban-ish Star Wars-esque town. Then we had like the literal spaceship. Then we had the pyramids. And I was like, okay, this is like kind of a fun sci-fi mix of things. So I think that one was my favorite.
Aliens. Just thinking
You
that
still
name.
new little town?
They're cute.
Even if it goes all the way back to Barovia. Any place that stood out that was like a favorite.
I'm good.
I'm going to have to go with the world that I created after Barovia. Just because
The very first one with the Nexus.
yes. Because it's not so much me creating it, it's what you guys did in it and how you reacted to it. Because I threw you in this world that hadn't really been anything that we've explored. And it pulled you guys out of your comfort zone real quick. watching you all interact and how you went through it, you were very hesitant.
Screaming buildings.
It wasn't even. I mean, yeah, that kind of does give you, wow, this place is fucked.
And then Fred blew it up.
Frank leveled half of it.
And that was, you started to understand this more than anybody. Your actions will have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer it went, the more that it ramped up. For my portion, everything you guys did would have a drastic consequence. Realizing that this is where a portion of the calamity happened.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to say, and I did love your worlds, but if I had to like re-explore, one of my favorite places to go, just because it was also a WTF, I think the very first place we went in Barovia, minus the castle, that house. Loved it, including the time I asked, because it was literally my boyfriend asked me just a random question, and then I popped up like, "Hey Frank, you know, I know some things can be mimics, but what are the odds like something like a door could be a mimic?" And he's like, "Oh, what are the odds? He's reaching for that door, and that's actually a mimic." I'm like, okay.
Got attacked by a broom, got attacked by a door. Or that was Porkchop getting attacked by everything in the
I
manor.
remember hearing about that.
Mine. Okay, one of them is the Egyptian one because love Egyptian mythology. But not to be biased or anything. But I think my favorite is the Shadowfell. Because I think, I don't know, I just think it's cool. And in my mind, it looks really pretty.
And I mean, we also were luxury living at times.
That
so.
Alright. What was your favorite moment throughout the campaign? Just a moment, not like a whole thing, just a singular moment that you would go back over and over to if you could. And relive it.
One I think I get that I'd like to pick and was one of the, was when we were world jumping, and it was that space where literally we were having, I hate to call it this, but it pretty much what it was, the carousel of DMs.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was Viking, you just stepped away, I had taken over, or Frank Inc. stepping in, and then we went right back to having you over here. And I can't say like a specific spot, but it was, for me, it was fun seeing how the game is played with somebody different behind the screen, because we've played with Frank for so long, and then nothing against Frank.
So it made it more colorful, seeing all this
and
different.
here's the thing, we could tell Frank was starting to get burnt out as a DM. At Viking, you stepping in and give it a little bit of a new breath of fresh air.
Yes.
And adding some flavor, and then I got voluntold into that. That was literally like less than a week to prep. So, if I had to go back and change something though for that, I'd say I would. If we knew you were going to be out longer, I wish I had the world ready, ready to rock and roll at that point in time. So when we jumped on the train,
You know what though? I'm going to give credit where credit's due to you. Taking that, nobody plans to have emergency surgery.
right?
Nobody expected,
Yeah.
They'll pick a bottle and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for that to be thrusted upon you guys, I did keep up. And you two, you could see that the chaos there of real life taking over, having to completely be derailed mid-campaign, you two did a phenomenal job. You guys, you gave continuity where it needed.
And I think that me jumping in for that, what is it? I think a month. I was DM for a month, maybe a month and a half.
I was out for 2.5 months.
So,
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, but-
but for that was enough time for Frank to decipher your notes
Decipher your
listen,
notes.
listen, people.
What notes?
When he asked for those, they were half finished. Being high on so many ketamine, dopamine, morphine, something else, I was on cloud 10. I don't remember those text messages. I don't
10,000.
remember those phone calls.
You don't remember me and Eli coming to
I
see
don't
you that day.
remember you guys.
And we were there for a good bit, but that's beside the point. But for that time being, it gave us time, and we made it work into the story. Because I was able to put a pause on your stuff, so Frank could make that part of the story work.
Repeat the question because we've gotten so off topic. I
Sorry.
forgot what it was.
What was your favorite moment throughout the campaign? Something you would. What?
Killing Strahd. Over and over and over again. I would
Just
love to
watching
do
that.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Because, like, also, I don't think I really did much in that fight, and we ended up taking him out. But he was also kind of like the mini boss, because Vampire was like the bigger one. But, like, just because Strahd was so annoying. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I know I just told you that I'm going to give you some time to figure this stuff out, and I'm going to come back to you. By the way, I'm back now.
He just peeks around the corner and keeps smiling.
Stirrer, yeah. I'm like,
Bastard.
you literally just said you're going to give us a break for a minute, and now you're like, oh yeah, I changed my mind. We love that, yeah. So, yeah, that Killing Strahd over and over and over and over and over again would be lovely. I'll replay that one particularly.
I can't remember who was doing
The end.
I want to say.
It's because, going back to what I had said earlier in this, I have played Valverix and had him in my pocket for 10 years. At the max. That's a long time for a character to be around. And finally getting to write this character off the way it was, not how I wanted it, but it's just good to know that it's done. It's over with. I don't have to have this character anymore.
Your favorite moment you would love to replay over and over?
I don't remember what it was. So you want to go first? That would be lovely.
Sorry.
Going back to what you said before, one of my favorite moments was pushing my Arcana for my nice little voodoo doll looking horse, and just you did your thing and I did my badass thing. Loved it. That
I
was
think that
fun.
was before I had wings too.
Uh-huh.
So,
It was.
New meaning of the Pony Express.
human bullet, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Which honestly should have been like the biggest show of intimidation.
I don't know.
Did
I actually like kill something for once? First try?
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was. Neither can I.
Alright.
I was like very like proud of myself for that part. Because my dice didn't betray me.
Oh,
the
dice for some
vampire
reason
out?
are like,
No, she
I think it was a vampire, but I know it was something else.
it wasn't
That I
that.
did like really like a lot of damage to, but I do not remember what it was.
Yeah.
Too many details.
What did I do wrong? Did you?
I mean 200 episodes
Okay.
plus episodes, so
Alright, that up a little bit. What was the funniest moment that nearly broke your character? Not you, your character.
I mean, if you
oh,
don't think one that broke your character, then yes, you can switch gears and say what nearly broke.
I can't
But let's
feel.
see, is there one that would break your character? Really, really funny.
A lot of the funny ones happened away from Riot. Here's
They happen too, right?
Yeah, Bones' favorite was Cookie. That was
not Riot.
That was-
Yeah.
that was diabolical on her part.
Woke up the next day and fuck my life.
I'm gonna need that wheelchair.
No, funniest one that that we were sitting that happened that broke me. Still, is you running back to the blue water and slamming your hands down on the table and screaming, "Sanctuary! I fucked up." To this day, it's still probably one of my funniest ones. Or it was Arian had not heard what had just happened, and I said something completely off topic of what it was, and went, "Watch the movie."
You say that a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances
If
of
we
that.
could,
No,
we
that
would
was the
make a
first time I ever
compilation
said
of
it.
watch the movie and turn into dubstep. We literally could do that. Arian, what's the moment that nearly broke you, or was it Cookie? Well, broke Arian.
That
And Amari.
was
Arian, Amari.
that was very
Ace.
funny. I'm trying. There were so many just random funny things with Steelbone.
Oh yeah, there's a lot with Steelbone.
And I don't remember.
There's a lot with
context
Quill
now.
too.
Yes. But particularly with Steelbone, it was just hysterical. And I think one of the quotes we have is of something he did, and we immediately were like, okay, that's shirt. And we wrote it down, and I don't remember what it is anymore.
One of mine is definitely "Get me off of you. You don't deserve me on you."
Oh,
Heather.
that was a good one. So I'm like, yeah, most of it's Steelbone, just Steelbone moments. It's either that or it's when we had Moss with the rat guy.
Oh my god, yes. Yeah.
Moss
Just the
off rat
multitude of
tails.
rats.
And the rat bombs.
Rat bombs.
Just shove those little grenades right in.
Yep. Rat
What
Fez.
about you, Viking?
I think he said rat bomb.
There's a lot of moments.
Sometimes we're funny.
Ever,
Are you guys heading out?
I'm pretty sure the whole band just to be safe. And then
Okay, hold on.
Oh, they want to.
Yeah.
That way
But,
they introduce you guys in the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Well,
Get,
you want to finish
between
Viking?
Arian and
I'm
then-
good. I will pass on this one. There's
There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel ya.
well, guys, because they are leaving, we do want to introduce our two players that'll be joining us for Daggerheart. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Kristen.
I'm Aaron.
So excited to be here.
Yeah.
Don't we have questions?
Well, figured that we just spent, what time is it? 12? We just spent 3 hours making characters?
Yep.
Yep.
But we do want to thank you guys for joining us. They are dear friends to some of us and new friends to the other half. So next Tuesday, you'll get to see them with us at the table playing Daggerheart. We're so excited to see the amalgamations and chaos that they bring to the table. And the newer sense of humor to reinvigorate us with our more battle-y.
It's gonna be very enjoyable.
Yes. Thank you
Glad,
guys so
glad
much.
to have you guys with us.
Yeah, looking forward to playing with you guys.
Yeah, can't wait.
Frank, if you would like
Frank's
to join
like
us
two
when you're
more
done, you may
victims.
sit by Arian.
Go Rams.
All right.
I got bad knees.
Don't feel bad, man. Don't feel bad.
When I squat, they pop. It's so scary.
Me too. I would still have to say my funniest moment for me personally is just lowering the bar on expectations with Frank. Especially whenever he had a dig for the bar whenever I did the liver thing.
Stupid shit.
No, the first one was the liver, like dissecting a player for components.
Listen, and I had no expectations for you, but I see you brought the shovel.
I was a necromancer.
I think one of my favorite moments, actually, that I'm pretty sure if Bones was awake
Somebody.
like I know I was kind of like watching what was happening, but like if I was actually awake and in the moment, I would have been laughing my ass off of just you panic running naked through that fucking hospital. Yeah.
No fucks given.
Honestly,
Yes.
that was that also I feel like could have been a very big intimidation moment. It's just like, hey, what's going on? And everyone's like, I don't know. It's a really pretty scary lady. What's going on?
I feel like if Bones was actually coherent in that moment and with you
Oh
guys,
my god,
Yep.
that was hilarious.
Yeah. I probably would have gotten sent to the Raven Queen of West. She's like, oh, the heart.
And the funny thing is like I had to specify that. I was like, listen, does she have clothes on? No? Cool. She's going. Doesn't care. Let's go. But I mean, I was like, in a battlefield, you don't care.
But Bones' crown of feathers.
So, those were the small questions we had for you guys. Now we're getting into the campaign pieces themselves for individual questions, and then full-on questions for the group. Just try to keep them to as short as we can, just a little short, but not too long. So this one's called All Was Well.
Oh god, I forgot about that saying.
You can pick whatever you'd like for these ones. And then
All is well.
All is not well, my guy.
I'm gonna go now.
We are all mentally ill.
Okay.
It is never well.
Arian,
Yes.
you played a few characters and ended up with Amari. How do you think things may have gone had Mystic not perished?
Like
Had
she went
perished.
to the end of the game.
If she would have lived.
Okay, well that would have thrown another dragon-based character into the mix. So that would have been a little different. Especially because part of Mystic's lore, and I didn't really know how to translate that into D&D when I first started playing, because Mystic was my very first character that I made. Mystic is actually a dragon who looks like a dragon born, or has a separate transformation that looks more human. So for his particular campaign, I was working with the dragonborn form, but I don't know how that might have changed.
Being with that secret that spilled into what
Yes.
happened.
Especially because we didn't really know much about origins or anything at that point. So I think there would have been possible contention. There might have been another person stepping up to the plate being like, oh, okay, why shouldn't I, take the divinity and become the next, god of dragons? Like, why are you entitled to that as compared to literally anybody else? Why not have a literal dragon step into that spot? But there might have also been like a little bit more discussion with like Valverix and everything, because this might have been an older based character, so this might have been someone with a lot of age knowledge. So I think that also might have changed some things. But it definitely would have added at least another power element. And honestly could have been a really, really strong character to play, in terms of like physical stats, just because you did have that kind of dragon-esque aspect.
Alright.
She was a rogue, wasn't she?
Timber, here's a
Yes.
fun question for you. If Sapris had made it to the end, how do you think he'd fare? Made it all the way to the end.
See, I remember Sapris. There's that character blew up in my face, literally. See, I sat and thought about if I continued to play with that character, but I honestly don't know if he'd have got out of Barovia, just because of how things had been going. And I feel like it was the right time to write him off, and I feel like bringing Ryu into the story when we did was going to be the bigger, be the better choice for a storyline wise and for the party.
Alright. Viking. Had Yerrick not have ended up with Navera, How do you think he'd play throughout the rest of the campaign?
Yeah, I have to agree, Blaze of Glory, but it'd be. Probably be terrifying. Because there would be.
You think he'd step up to the plate to try to take on and be the next god?
My only
No.
yeah.
No, not at all. Because of how I built him and mentality mindset, he would have pulled the Loki.
Very fair.
That would have been the ultimate move, trick somebody into taking it.
Alright. Arian,
Mhm.
upon exploring the Curse of Strahd, was there a moment that you believed Amari carried with her? Sorry. Upon exploring the Curse of Strahd, was there a moment that you believed Amari carried with her that helped shape a moment that she carried with her that helped shape who she became in the end?
I think it was discovering kind of her connection to Paylor, and then also the connection that I kind of created with Strahd and is who I later turned into her Drasana. I think that was something that kind of stuck with me, at least in terms of like the character, because this could have very easily gone a very different way. This very could have turned into, you know, the next overlord of Barovia. This could have turned into the next Strahd had wrong choices kind of been made. And I think the introduction kind of with Paylor as the focus toward the light side of good definitely fluctuated, especially when it came to like the kind of overprotectiveness that she has, particularly toward Lucy.
I can see it, right?
Yeah.
So I think the introduction of her picking Paylor as her god, and then the connection with Strahd and Drasana, was very different compared. Because there could have been a lot of very different choices made without those two elements.
Alright.
Yeah,
Timber,
Oh, well.
were there any life lessons that he had endured
YouTube for
that
free.
shaped Ryu into how he ended up in the last parts of the campaign?
One of them I could think of is the world where everyone was frozen.
No, we're thinking this is Barovia right
All
now.
back in Barovia.
Something life lessons that shaped him to how he made it all to the end. Like, is there any life lessons that shaped him?
At that what I could think of at the moment would have been in trusting the party more early on, because when we first brought Ryu in, you guys literally were like, I don't know about this one, but meanwhile there's this stranger lady over here. You're just flapping your gums about what you're gonna do next with it. And I was like, even Arian was sitting here or listening in, going, "You're listening to the wrong person."
But that, I was just like, you're telling this stranger seems to know a lot about this situation, and I don't call you guys saying anything to her about it. Meanwhile, poor Chuck's over there like, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Well, I'm getting the
So
cold
I see how
shoulder.
this is gonna go.
Fair enough. Liking. Now that we know Zior, or Zar, was one of Grievous's figurines of wondrous power, turned companion and brother of Rune, how do you think things would have panned out in the end game had he stayed with the party? Would he have gone with Grievous? Would he have gone against Grievous?
I don't think there's
Like knowing his mentality.
really a good answer for this. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think the outcome would have been different altogether. That Grievous would have stopped pursuing. That there are other things more sentimental in value to him that he could have a life with and actually have companionship. That he wouldn't be alone in the world.
I like that. Because we kind of didn't include Czar in the end at all.
You know, he guarded the tower, the Ember Temple.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Group questions. Remember, these are going to be brief answers. Let's go with the first one.
Is there a moment you wish you could have changed? What would you have done differently?
This is for the Curse of Strahd. If you don't know, we can come back.
Come back to it.
Aaron?
That's a little difficult. I mean,
Nope.
Or
maybe tried to save.
Nope.
Like, even if it's not Amari, is there something your other character, like what's her name?
Carmine.
Carmine. Is there something different even Carmine would have done?
Carmine now the
I mean, we
killer.
might have had Carmine for longer though.
With all the Carmine.
With Carmine, I feel like it was kind of a downhill slope
It was
situation.
inevitable.
Because she'd kind of given up before she started. And then, with the fact that Strahd just kind of kept showing up, she's like, oh, okay, crap. There's nothing for me anywhere. But with Amari,
Is there anything you would have done differently?
probably would have.
Not get bucked off by a horse and becoming a human projectile?
Oh, she loved that.
No, that was
was fun.
on purpose. I did that on purpose. That one I feel like I would
Improvised weapon.
have leaned more. I should have leaned more into Amari's abilities at least a little bit more early on. Because I kind of was like, okay, if the worst happens, I need to have a backup plan. And then because I was so prepared on my backup plan, I didn't use abilities I could have used to start. Like, I could have used the Ravenloft symbol a lot freaking more if I had been like, oh, hey, because I had more charges on it, I could have used it more than once. I was like, oh, I'm going to save it because if the worst happens and I need to, come up with a plan to get everybody out of here, then, that's what I'm going to use. So, not saved things, because it might have ended up with characters either still being alive or not having as many issues, I should think.
I know you're cooking on one. What would you have done differently?
Splitting of the party.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fucked us over a lot in Strahd. I want to go this way. I want to go that way. Fuck no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ty, you're a pathetic twig ass to me, and you will stay there.
All
I
right.
want to go this way. No, oh man, I said this way.
That's it. Just the splitting of the party.
With that, hell, I'm gonna take this real quick.
Okay.
I think one thing I would have done differently as a GM is get those dark powers out faster. To have those haunt you like how much Strahd did coming into like you guys seeing him every couple of sessions or every time.
No, that was annoying.
You kept on seeing if
Oh, he
the,
does.
if the trapped gods in the Ember would have reached out more to you guys, and if I was more conniving to get you to take that dark gift.
Throw a monkey wrench in, like, fuck, I'll be your friend.
Because
Get us outta
that
here.
changes so much of the game plan.
And see, I think us not having them made it harder.
You don't know.
I
If some butts for candies.
I
and
wasn't there for that.
I feel like we could have spent more time in the castle.
I don't know. Part of me is like, what if I never took Puck up on the whole, like, you know what? Because, you know, I like playing the Soul Blade. You know, Havela is a Soul Blade. Instead of the Soul Blade, the Soul Knife. Instead of a barbarian is how her mind went. And he's like, okay, you're different. And then there went Havela. She dead. But not dead. I would have, I don't know. It's tough. Because there's a lot, even with, like, Nevera, there's a few things I potentially would have done differently. But at the same time, I like where the story went. And you weren't in.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
Alright. In Barovia, do we have a favorite NPC that we remember? I remember the one I mentioned was from Barovia, from favorite NPC. It was the old lady that ended up, like, whooping people's butts. Yeah, what need?
What need?
The only time that I was
Why? What need?
You didn't even utilize that one too much. That would have broke half
even
of us.
going back, if I would have put more Richtofen into it, or dug deeper into Strong, and how fully, I mean, you're supposed to see him around every corner, but if I delved more into his, like, if you guys uncovered more of his backstory, it gets so much darker than this. You know, it's almost like Strahd is portrayed like the Dracula Untold movie. He did it for something else, for love, and it just cursed him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought if I maybe playing him a little bit more differently, based off that, you guys would have felt that sorrow of him.
I mean, between the two of us, we definitely kind of made it after
I mean,
the fact.
to me, that NPC sticks out a lot more. I mean, you guys had Esmeralda. It was his, was her, you know, his prerogative.
Because we still got what's
What's her name? And they ran the Blue Water Inn.
the one of the Were Ravens.
Okay. I know
You know-
I don't remember.
I can't think of their names. There's two of them. One was the husband and one.
Yeah.
And they bickered almost all the time. Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
Von Richten? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think he was my favorite just because it was like, okay, this is our rest person.
I said Richtofen.
Yeah.
That's freaking Call of Duty Black Ops.
Brictavo.
No,
No?
they're right. It's Von Richten.
Okay.
Is his name.
The other one was the guy that was shackled up all the time. Yeah. He was funny.
Town drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a villain or creature you loved fighting?
I love the werewolf one. I'll tell you that. I love that werewolf. That kid, the Lord of Werewolves that hurt you guys a lot. And I think killed him.
Yeah, he ripped Zero's head off. Like full on predator.
I liked him.
What was the tree one?
Oh, the blight.
The
You're talking about the tree blight. The massive walking tree.
it started at the one side the map.
Trees, yeah, well,
It had a specific
blight
name.
tree.
The tree revenant.
Winter Splinter.
Winter
Winter
Splinter. Yep.
That was fun.
That was an interesting battle, but it was probably one of my favorite ones. And you actually got a nice little weapon out of it.
Mhm.
The axe. Because you were the only one that could wield it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the heartfelt axe. Or the
Before-
hardwood axe.
Before I got the sword, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know you like Charlotte Shadow.
I think solely because I kind of added to his backstory. I just did not like him at all. I don't know that there was really an enemy that I was like, oh yeah, this is
That's
cool.
okay. If there is not an answer, it doesn't mean you have to force yourself to make one either.
Otherwise, the guy would have been Frankenstein's castle, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. You have him. You also have the three
You don't have
brothers.
to. Like you. Is a fight you truly loved? Like one that you really. I still think yours is probably the freaking dragon with the twin rock.
That was moment. And honestly, now that I think about it, the Silver Knights, that was probably the most interesting of the NPCs, because everybody there was so overly cut and dry. Like, you could tell what was focused on in the creation of, but even then it was just overly over the top.
Oh, I got one. Okay.
The Knights of Argynvost were these mundane, very simplistic characters, and I like that the most about them.
I really like the Naga. Because that one could have gone either way.
The Naga was number. The Naga was in the world jumping.
You're talking about Baba Yaga.
You mean the witch?
No.
No,
I was talking
that was a
about.
different world.
Yeah,
that's his.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
That's okay.
Not Barovia.
Like I said, if you don't have one, that's okay. If there's a time you guys don't have an answer for it, that's okay. It's not a bad thing to not have an answer.
I mean, I also didn't really. For most of the introduction of the enemies, it was pretty cut and dry from the point where I kind of entered. So there wasn't like really time for me to be like, oh, okay, this one's cool. It was kind of just like, oh, okay, we need to. It was lich or vampire or werewolf or stuff like that. So,
Babushka.
Yeah.
Babushka. As Steve always put it, he always called her Babushka.
It was fairly cut and dry, but like, oh, this is an enemy, this is just what we're doing. So, certain battles were fun, but certain, like, if I had like a favorite enemy, it was not.
That's okay. Well, here's a quick question for you guys then to wrap it up, and then we'll hit Frank since he was the DM of this one. What was the moment that had you most at the edge of your seat during the Curse of Strahd?
The beating of the child. That had me on the edge of my seat because I was like, holy fuck, from a DM point? For one, that's the mayor's kid. So do the guards come? Do the town kick you out? What?
Did they get an oversized spray bottle?
That or setting the windmill on fire
Oh
with
my
the
God.
group in it.
You got 5
Because
minutes
that
to
would
light
have
this
been
bitch on fire.
an early campaign TPK, and be like, what the hell do I do next?
Hey, you love it. I keep you on your edge, on your seat.
What had you at the edge of your seat, Viking?
I'm going to say the Draco Lich fight, because that was literally a roll. You guys didn't see it, but he had me make some fucking rolls, and
Oh, I remember.
When he filmed it.
Heard about it? Yeah, I heard about it.
I passed. And we're going to say the word passed very loosely.
Skin of the teeth.
Yeah.
Arian?
Probably, honestly, the Ceiling of Vampire. Because that one could have been.
They're going either way.
Yeah, that one could have been, like, really bad. That could have been
That was
really,
stressful.
really
Wow,
bad.
I must be tired because you said ceiling of vampire, and I was like, wait, what ceiling? What ceiling?
Timber.
SEAL.
Yeah. It took a second.
It's a.
Mine would probably be exploring when we finally got into Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, that.
Because
You know that?
every room we went into, something different happened. And if we said a certain room, I just see Frank starting to grin, and at that point, it's too fucking late.
Like the foyer with the 4 dragons waiting for
Yeah,
you?
looking up, and I'm like, oh,
Weren't they
shit.
gargoyles?
No, they were
They
dragons.
Dragons.
They were actual
Ah.
dragons up there. And Frank's sitting there going, please do something.
All
Please
right.
piss them
What
off.
about you? Everything. Winter Splinter, wondering when the heck it was popping up, and then we were like, we could have went that way. And then we found out Winter Splinter. No. The freaking walking, was that Winter Splinter? No, it wasn't. The walking corpse, the giant amalgamation of bodies. Yeah.
Fuck that thing.
No, that was a whole walking corpse. Like, no.
The zombie clot.
So
Which had all the zombies in it.
I wasn't a part of that, but I do have an answer for this one. For what had me at the edge of my seat. I have to leave early, right? This was the last episode, and I was so upset that I had to leave. And Shy was keeping me updated as to like what was going on.
Oh.
I'll show you the messages later. I was sitting in my bed watching my phone. I didn't go to bed until like 4
There's
in
a
the
no
morning.
warning update her, and she's just like,
I was staring at my phone waiting for an update. And then she was like, Bones killed Ryu. And I'm like, yes! And then she told me the devastating news, and I'm like, no! And I was like, anxiety ridden that whole time waiting for her to respond back to me.
I thought I felt a disturbance in the force.
Frank.
DM question.
Of course, for the viewers, what sources did you use to bring the world to life of the Curse of Strahd?
A lot.
Would you like to share?
A lot. So I use 3 sources. And I combined them all together because Curse of Strahd module itself is not fulfilled. There's a lot of areas that are not worth checking out.
Yes.
So I also delved in and I used Lunch Break Heroes version. I bought their copy and used their version because they opened up the Wolf Den and what to find in there. And then I also grabbed Beetle Grimm's version of Curse of Strahd as well. So that I combined all 3 of those to make that world fulfilled. That way, no matter where you went, there was something to do.
So many damn maps in that box.
What was your proudest moment for the party/players in the part of the
In this part of the
In
campaign,
this
so the Curse of Strahd.
Favorite part?
Proudest moment.
Proudest?
What was your proudest moment for them?
I think the proudest one was you guys standing up for the knights and the werewolves with them, knowing what they were. Knowing that these guys did a lot of sacrifice and what Strahd really did to them. You guys stood up for it. That was like, okay, here are the champions. Here are the people who are going to stop this, or at least try. That was the moment I think you guys fully tapped into your characters.
What was the most frustrating for you?
What wasn't? I mean, the castle itself is huge. So that was frustrating because you guys could turn any way, shape, or form. The other one would be like when I pull Strahd out, because Strahd's always watching. So when do I want him to intervene when the party is like, they have that sliver of hope, they did something good, and then they turn around and they see Strahd, like in the Wizards of Wine. When you guys were there looking at the vat, how the wine is made, and all that other stuff, and then you found that hidden cult, and you guys stopped them. Then you turn around and here Strahd is offering a PC to drink his blood to turn into vampire.
Oh. Any tips for DMs and players wanting to play the Curse of Strahd?
Do your research. Do your research because like I said, the normal module based off the book, it doesn't open up a lot of places. That's why I use Lunch Break and I use Beetle and Gremlins versions of these books because they fill that in. So that, or add your own flair to it. Like I said, in the module, there was nothing for the werewolf done. Nothing. Yes, they're werewolves, but it didn't give any story to it, purpose, and why you go. So, to me, is to heavily do research and see what other DMs did, or if you have that much of an ability to worldcraft and dig into it, then do it that way. That would be my only tip.
All right. So this is what we call a hop, a skip, and a world jump.
That's all.
So the first question, Arian,
Mhm.
there were moments that you were tested with your being a paladin. Were there moments that helped you truly understand what it meant to be a paladin during the middle half of the campaign?
I think yes and no, because very much Frank was like, hey, how you play a paladin is supposed to be, lawful stupid. You're supposed to be like, oh, that's wrong, no, immediately. And with the, yes, bad to a bad, is pretty much what a paladin is generally supposed to be, at least in their original creation form, is like, oh, hey, that's bad, we're not doing that at all. Meanwhile, my take on it was a much kind of more modern version of it, especially because I was keeping in mind where my paladin particularly is from. And I was like, okay, so I am taking the understanding of me kind of as a person with the understanding I have of this, city and how it operates, and taking that into my paladin, being like, hey, there's some gray areas. There's room for, cultural differences. There's room for interpretation. There's room for there to be these kind of like condoning of potentially bad things because maybe that's how that society works. I can't jump in and be like, hey, no, because I might just not be understanding something.
All right.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I went with it at least.
Timber, as a Drake Warden and fighting with a companion, what did you learn when utilizing and fighting with your Drake?
Using Sparky E at the times that I did, it was the early stages. Obviously, it was a little more difficult because all you could do was bite, and that was it. It was here's a bite, here's an extra D6 of damage, but it was trying to find that perfect timing to add it in with you guys because it didn't just have to be my attack. It could have been Yurik, could have been Inamari, Lucy. As long as just going through, but at the same time, I had to also not only think of my plan of attack with my character, but with Sparky. So I was pretty much doing a battle strategy for two characters at once.
I would have used him as a mini missile.
Viking.
Fly up.
Viking. You DM throughout this half of the campaign, and when you had to step back for a bit and played a few characters, who was your favorite to play, and would you play that race or class again in the future? Sorry. Like Yurik, Mel.
I didn't get to play them long, but I loved playing now. And I know you hate when I build characters.
They be broken.
I don't purposely go, hey, how can I fuck Frank over by building a broken character? It just happens. I'm sorry, man. But coming in and having a stealth skill so freaking ridiculously high that not even the most perceptive individual who can hear a fly fart knows that he's gone.
That was cool.
There's also Ryan.
Was
the two of us.
It was fun because I could just have, hey, where'd he go?
Would you play a character like that again?
Oh, it's a Gloomstalker Ranger.
Gloomstalker, Ranger, Shadow, Sorcerer, multi-class.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Absolutely, I would play it again.
Stupid high stealth.
Arian, there were moments you had taken charge as well as taken down a boss or two. Tell us, how did that feel?
Awesome. It's very boss woman coded, and I love to do it. It doesn't happen very often because normally I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know that this is going to work. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Like the whole, like, hey, I'm going to fly in with my sword and stab the enemy, going the speed of mock Jesus. Let's see if if I'm actually allowed to do it. First of all, and then second of all, I'll be like, oh hey, I just landed right in front of like one of the main bad guys. What's that going to do to the person that I just landed right in front of? I'm like, either I'm going to intimidate the hell out of them because I'm literally speeding in, or they're about to get really annoyed with me very quickly.
That's what you chose, not creating a dragon and killing it?
Well, that was also very cool, but also you put a
green dragon and then a goddamn Draco Lich.
Okay, yes, but you also put a radiant-based paladin against an undead. I'm gonna do a lot of damage if I can hit it. And then I climbed on its back.
Well-
There was kind of no way for me to not really hit it at that point.
To be fair, Viking made that knowing everybody had that had their
Yeah.
abilities, and you took it down like it was nothing.
Okay.
Anyway, Timber, you had spent some time at the forge as well as stashing weapons. What drove you to such an endeavor? Inquiring minds wish to know.
So for Ryu,
Why,
it was,
why the obsession with smithing and stashing and hoarding weapons?
so for Ryu, it was more of trying to rebuild the valley. So everything was annihilated. So finding stuff that he could, but also I had this idea of a character. Or okay, if I have a sword here, I'm gonna, just because you're here, Viking, I'm gonna use it. If Eric would not have his blade, could just run past Ryu, grabs the sword off his back, and just goes right in the battle.
So you're saying the multitude of weapons were all in your bag? And you just...
Not all of them. There's a lot of stuff in the bag of holding, but the ones that he could have easy access to.
I will say, you hoarded a lot of weapons more than Bones ever did hoard anything.
We were all very curious, and we
Who
never
likes
got
the
a full answer.
shiny stuff now, bitch?
Hold on! Hey. Hold on, I had 5 weapons total.
Rude questions. Yeah.
Okay, that looked like a different word. I'm like, what is that?
My fault exactly, Frank.
What was your first impression on coming to the Obsidian Spire? Obsidian looked weird. The spire was.
You were Satorius, you can answer this too. So this is for you three.
Ooh.
Remember, try to keep it free.
I think the only thing that ran through my mind was the ending of Neverending Story with that floating non-singular spire of the cathedral.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm thinking this is going to be either something majestic or it's going to bite us all in the ass.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern. Is that spire's gonna either help us or
the
fuck
ladder
us.
doing this guy.
I immediately went to Isengard. I was like, okay.
Story's playing on my head too now.
I was like, oh, really big, tall, black black tower. That's kind of what I thought, and then I was like, oh, it's an elevator. That's cool.
Remember?
I kind of had the same thing. Like, Frank, this thing's either gonna help us or fuck us. And knowing Vikings' mind, it's gonna be a combination of both somehow.
All right. Well, what were your first thoughts on the Crimson King when you first met him?
I wanted to kill him.
Arian?
That was kind of the point.
Well, I wanted to kill him or try to break his curse. That's the whole reason between colonies.
Remember, when you first met him, he had these long, gangly,
Yes,
like,
I saw him as more of kind of like a waypoint person, very a la, because this was, kind of, I was rewatching a lot of the Avengers movies at this point, so I was thinking very Red Skull-esque. The kind of the keeper of the one stone. So I was like, okay, is that what this guy is? Is he just kind of like a sentinel? And I mean, when we meet him later, then it's just kind of funny, because y'all just literally bought him smut books, and we're like, here you go. So, I mean, that part was fun. I was like, oh, okay, he's cool.
That's for me, playing Baldur's Gate 8 was starting to make you think of what's his name, Frank?
Withers?
Thank you. Who is he going to be? One of those characters that just gives it that little bit of wisdom, or is able to help us out later on, and because something fucky happened.
Alright. Bones thought he was cool. And if she could get a chance to hang out with him again, she would.
You want the chair.
That
It's
too.
not about the chair. I admire the chair. I want one of my own.
She had his back.
You good for the next one?
You travel to many.
Many a worlds.
Okay. You travel to many a worlds through the doors in the spire. Oh, okay. Wow.
They answered these ones already, so.
Ah, I see. What was the world that
I don't know what
proved
those
most challenging?
And we got 4 pairs.
We're all wearing glasses, minus this one here.
Contacts.
So whoever you three wish to do, and you did some of the worlds as well that he had done, so you can all answer this actually, and if you would like, since you were,
I think for me one of the most challenging worlds is definitely the desert,
oh yeah,
because having been, we got blown the fuck up right out of the sky. For one, two, so many puzzles inside the pyramid. It's
he said puzzles was like kryptonite.
and also I think it was another factor of us adding the charity players, because now we not only have to work with our group, we have to work with that group too, who is one, and it was just a complete ball of chaos that night.
All right.
I like the first one.
Yeah, 4 mile block.
With the
That was
skulls. Yeah, with the faces within the walls too.
Mm-hmm.
And the
So
buildings.
I want to kind of do this from the DM perspective. So creating these worlds, homebrewing them, is a task in itself, and you know this. You have to think of so much stuff. Okay, what's the overall architecture? What is the atmosphere of this place? And this is for anybody who creates a world for D&D. You have to go into such depth to make it feel alive. In this case, very visceral. The very first world being very dark, chaotic, bent, reality being bent. And I wanted to convey that. So hearing you guys talk, keep bringing it up, means a lot to me from that perspective, because I feel like, yes, I achieved the notion that this world's reality is completely warped than what you're expecting it to be.
The one I found the most challenging, I think, actually was the one with the evidences, just because there's a lot that could go wrong, there was a lot that did go wrong, and there was a lot that could have gone a lot worse. It also kind of brought into question a lot of like moral things, because it's like, okay, can you just straight up attack things? Like, what are the chances of you saving anything in terms of like that? There was kind of like the mental toll of all of us kind of working with the characters, so there was that kind of added element. And then there's the chaos gremlin.
I killed the very first person in the first world. He's like
I mean, we blew up
silent
a city.
someone.
We blew up a city block with the
Four.
round.
Four.
Oh well, that one.
No, I meant the
That was
first.
just you.
We went to the tavern hotel thing, and you're like, make sure there's no witnesses or whatever. I forget what you said, and she's like, okay. And I murdered her with the very first person sleeping. She's just like,
you meant killing them, so she just killed
Yeah.
them. And
hello,
you
her
were
face
like,
went back.
that's not what I meant.
When I got back, I was like, "Oh shit, we fucked up."
Yeah.
four city blocks gone.
Just because
All right. Was there a moment you truly thought, I'm gonna die?
Four
lot.
city blocks.
You really hated those cats.
4 city blocks because it was just me and Lucy.
You really hated those
It was
cats.
Kalon and Lucy. That was it.
It's Tori.
well,
It's Tori in the first world. Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to kill the goddamn demon cats. And I didn't realize that they were highly volatile to magic.
No, it wasn't it was you summoning your dragon to bust through the
That's-
sewers.
Yeah.
To get us the hell out.
Hey, look, a manhole dragged
They
me
were
like that.
immune to your magic.
That was it. Yep. So it was get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yep.
And dragon level blocks. And I thought,
Viking.
fucking bad.
When you played a world, some of the worlds he did, was there a moment you thought, who's that? Or not really?
I'm gonna say Barovia,
I meant in the
and I was
worlds.
gonna
And the your worlds. The ones
Desert.
Desert?
Yeah.
I think it was with a lot of us.
Oh yeah.
I knew I was going to survive it. Barely.
I call bullshit.
No, because I did the math. I was like, okay, I was like, roughly, what would that be? And I did the math, and I think I had like 10 HP left after I did the math. Because my HP for Amari was kind of stupidish high at that point. And I was like, okay, well, barely just.
I'm going to interject because as being DMs, he was lenient.
Yeah.
If he followed rules as written, no, your character would not be alive. None of us.
None of us.
would be
that
alive.
should have been a TPK
Right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say between the desert and there was times in Barovia I felt like Ryan was cooked.
Just the worlds.
Oh, just the
his
worlds?
This is where this
Oh.
With
This
just
is-
Vikings.
Yeah, I didn't even
He's,
answer the question.
This is middle.
when we were
this is
roll
the
jumping,
middle world.
and it had to be between the desert and
So we had just to clarify, just the worlds. We
Yeah.
had the
The Evanexus.
the Nexus one, the underground Great Village,
Yes.
the desert, the train and prison, and then back to the farm.
so probably be,
So we had 5 rolls into it.
so probably be the desert.
I'd say that one. I just like okay.
You forgot about the castle one, Frank.
Every world
6.
I went to.
With the ink monsters.
Mine was Falscaria. I definitely thought at the end it was just gonna be we're dying. Like I was like, okay, there's no winning here. And every single time we were like, oh, okay, maybe we can, convince these people to like help us and stuff. Frank's like, oh yeah, by the way, let me ruin that completely. I was like, oh, okay, so we're just all dead. Great, fabulous, we love that.
I would say if I had to, the biggest part where I thought Lucy was actually going to die was when me and her kept going, oh, I'm lower than you now. I'm lower than you now. And we were going back and forth, tug of war of who's gonna die first.
Oh, with the basilisk mother.
We literally kept going back and forth, and I got ticked down more. She ticked down. I went down. I was like, well, if I get hit one more time, I'm just dead, deader than dead.
Or who's going to become petrified
Yeah.
first.
Luckily, we got you the
Well,
hell out
I
of there.
thought Bones was gonna die a lot, so
That's he likes to play more of the combat death. I'm going to psychologically fuck with you.
With these ones, and you may have answered some already, so if you guys did, we'll skip over those ones. These are DM questions for Viking and Frank. Since you both mostly did these, we will get to a different part on you in a moment. So, Viking, how did you come up with the Spire and the Crimson King? What inspired you for those?
So, being a fan of horror and trying to keep with that, one of my favorite authors is Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen King writing the Dark Tower series. One of the things that predominantly stuck with me is that Roland Desjardins of Gilead goes to the Dark Tower. It is the pinnacle of all the worlds. There's nothing really like that in D&D. So to bring that in, to give it some sort of significance, I felt was a good homage to him. I mean, this is our modern day horror author.
Mm-hmm.
What better than to use a bit of his work, which isn't even really originally his. All those books were inspired by the poem by Robert Browning, Child Roll into the Dark Tower Came, written in 1864, I believe. It might be, I know it's the 1800s, I can't remember exactly when.
That sounds about right.
But it was a nod to the modern day master of horror.
So is the Crimson King Stephen King then? Is that who you played him off of?
Now,
Where'd you get the inspiration for him?
so there is a character, if you have read the books, Randall Flagg, The Stand. Randall Flagg is mentioned through
I think that's his kid.
a multitude of his books under a different character's name. But for me, the Crimson King, fate always seemed to be red. It's what I've imagined fate to be, red. The essence of the Crimson King, if you guys actually try to fight him, he was going to reveal his true form. He's a spider, a master of the web of fate.
Alright.
Hence why the multi-articulated figures.
Why there's
Now
all the
this
spider
might,
webs.
were all the worlds your build and he just ran them?
Minus the desert.
Minus
Desert
Okay. So then this would be for both of you then.
what were your inspirations to the worlds you built behind the doors?
Where you kind of touch base with the Stephen King.
Yeah.
And you also did the one with the Edgar Allan.
The non-Edgar.
The Poe-esque.
The Poe-esque. I love Poe. Like I said earlier, he was more psychological in all of his writings. You never really knew what was coming from his stories, his poems. He captivated the imagination. I mean, so much so that one of the most prolific French authors of the time, Jules Verne, wrote a sequel to one of Edgar Allan Poe's books. That's how inspiring Poe's work was. And going back to Master of Horror, he's not a master of horror in the sense of mutilation, things like that, like what we have today, the gore.
Was that Telltale part?
Which one? No, he actually wrote a book. I forget what. Do you remember what it's called off the top of your head?
No, but when I see the title, I'll know.
Yeah, it's one of his actual few publications that was a legitimate book in its own right. And Jules Verne wrote a sequel to it. But I feel that Edgar Allan Poe was the founding of psychological horror. Okay. Again, I'll touch base. Murder the Rue Morgue, The Telltale Heart.
Red Room?
What?
Or Violet Room? Or the Purple Room?
You're thinking of the Scarlet Letter?
No, the one room in the castle during the masquerade was.
Oh,
the
Castle
Yes.
Amontillado.
Yes.
There's one that's literally a colored room. Like red door, but it's not that.
Scarlet Letter.
Mask the Red Death?
No.
No.
I can't think of the freaking thing.
It'll come to me.
Because the one where the dude gets bricked up is Castle Amontillado.
And then you have works like The Pit and the Pendulum,
Yes.
which is one of my personal favorite stories of his. Because there's so many little details in it that you could take. Like, I remember reading it in high school. Okay, the candles, each one being snuffed out. Our teacher asked us at the time, what do you believe the candles represent? And the snuffing of the flame. My observation was that this is the light of mankind being snuffed out by the 7 deadly sins, which blew the classroom's mind at the time, mind you. It's little things like that that inspired me to create a world like that, putting in these little details. Another one that I personally enjoy, the Catacomb one, was inspired by the movie As Above, So Below.
Love that movie.
Yes.
That is, for it being a very low budget movie compared to other ones of its time, it nailed psychological horror. It nailed demonic horror so well.
Mm-hmm.
As for others, it was like the Evanexus. That one was a menagerie of things. I wanted to bring in this more Victorian feel. Narrow streets, dark alleyways, things like that. But with a science fiction feel to it.
Alright.
I think the desert room or the desert world, I think what inspired me to make it is a mix between Return of the Jedi, Stargate,
Very much.
and then Indiana Jones.
What would you tell others aspiring to be future DMs?
In creating worlds?
Mm-hmm. Or just in general, what would you get? What would be
Gordon
yours?
Pym is that sequel that you were learning.
Yes, that's what it is.
See, now this was like a very fresh thing for you.
Take your time. Don't rush into it. The first world you guys ventured to was roughly 3.5 months of planning. Not consistently, but cumulatively. So when you're doing these things, even following a module, just take your time, breathe. There are going to be points that you get stressed out. You're going to have writer's block. Don't worry about it. Eventually, it's going to come to you.
And don't be afraid to think on the fly. That's a good trick of the trade for anything. Because if you don't have worlds or stuff built, having a name generator just to get you the base.
Is that how you come up with names for your characters?
I run through a name generator, or I just whatever comes top of my head.
Alright. Well, you had played Satori, Kalan, and Grievous throughout this half. Who did you have the most fun playing?
Cologne. Cologne.
Alright. Well, we are going to run just a little bit longer, if you're okay with that, Frank. Just remember, try to keep it brief so we can get these done. As long as we keep them brief, we're almost there.
Yeah.
This one's called Training is Key.
Timber, you ran a couple one shots with the keys to the Golden Vault. Why did you choose this for your one shots? And what did you learn DMing from them?
So, Keys to the Golden Vault was set up that you could run it as a campaign from start to finish, or you could pick each one and as a singular one shot. As we all know, I'm a railroad history buff, and finally getting to bring trains to Dungeons and Dragons was something I was looking forward to. That we were going to just do as a spin-off, as a break, and then Viking having to get on for emergency surgery, we kind of found a way to tie it in and just made it work. And what was fun with that was I can make that consist. I'm not going to say the old consist to my liking, other than having to have the three main pieces, which was the engine, the jail car, and the caboose. But what was also fun was seeing you guys have to navigate the fights, because if you got knocked off, you ended up in the jail, and there was no way to pick the lock to get out. So that made it interesting. And then Fire and Darkness, with you guys going to look for the Book of Vile Darkness, the more and more I read into it, the darker some of that place became. And what was fun was the final room. That was not a... Frank's nodding because he knows that was
the dark room by the one where you found handcuffs and smashed the bed, the whole room up.
Fire?
no, the fire room.
The I was talking about, like, not the dark room where you found handcuffs under a bed. You're just like, nope.
Destroy the master bedroom completely. But no, the final room I got inspired from a third party source, and it was one of those. I'm like, okay, this is a good brain teaser to make you guys think on how you're going to get across this room, because for those who didn't see it, it was time based, and it turned into a wave of flames, and you guys look, if you were stuck in it, what was it, Frank? I can't remember. It was like 12d6 or something like that.
Oh,
And
hurt.
yeah, and unless you were in one of the safe spots or one of the alcoves or the main area, you were fucked. So those were fun to play. A lot of the stuff, and Frank and Viking kind of already said some of the stuff I learned is read into it. Don't be afraid to pull from other sources. Hell, if you're not sure what to do with it, ask a fellow DM. Like here, I have two others that I could pick from. I'm gonna ask questions for.
Cue off that quickly. Do you intend to explore more of the Golden Vault in the future?
If the time arrives where we need a break from what we're doing, maybe, because there's one or two other ones I think we could have fun with.
Alright, this one's a group question. Minus you, because you DM'd it.
What did you enjoy most while playing through Keys of the Golden Vault?
It was different.
It was.
It didn't have the same. I'm gonna only use the word loosely. It didn't feel monotonous.
I'll take that as a compliment.
No, it felt out of the box. Like it was, we're all used to a world to where it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We had a train; they had no idea what was going to take us. We had to rely on a stranger for one, and even after so amount of time went by, we were traveling through a different world. So boons or curses happened that would either help us or not. And then when we got to Fire and Ash, that was, we're talking about like Bowser's Keep.
That's a good way to describe it.
Bowser's Keep was the fire temple from Ocarina of Time. It was just straight like what? Like we could lava, dead, dragons everywhere.
Bowser's Keep, World 8, Mario 2.
Yep.
I like the little robot guy.
That was so cute. That was so adorable.
What the fuck was his name? There's something simple.
The robot guy.
The
The little the plank.
Oh,
The-
God's
the-
working
the
through
plank,
some
the-
bullshit.
Yeah.
Cogsworth.
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 Yeah. And
I like the little robot guy.
Now follow up for you guys.
I did like having to draw your maps.
Now follow up for you guys.
Especially now that we're a map library, and I could have just been like, "Here you go."
Oh yeah.
Everything was already done.
Which of the one shots for the Keys of the Golden Vault did you enjoy more? Did you like the one where it was a murder mystery esque, or did you like the one where following through from train to the fire and
The vault,
brimstone?
I was only there for that one, so I can't answer.
So if you had to pick, which one did you like the most?
Weren't we on the train when we had the whole read the book lead into Grievous showing up?
That was both of the Keys of the Golden Vault, but that was off the train. Just in general, those were the one shots.
that's
Okay.
not the.
There's the one shot where we had the murder mystery on the train, and we had the train
the book
saw
wasn't
Grievous
a
and go
one
get the book,
shot.
and Grievous appeared
That was
again.
post solving the mystery.
Probably the murder mystery one, just because it was the introduction to the train. You learn how the train worked, what it ran on, what was going on. You got introduced to all the people that were on it. And then it also kind of led into kind of what I think is like one of the beginning main story
Oh yeah,
points.
you're good.
So I would say probably the murder mystery. Even though I don't think I did very much.
I forgot about the murder mystery one.
With the freaking mind flayer as the detective.
I
All I
like
could think
that
of his
one.
pipe was nothing but bubbles coming out instead of smoke. I liked the second one. It was very interesting and trying to stay hidden the whole time. Like, you don't see me. Hey, I know your name. Go. I'm gonna get out of here, and you're gonna like get my ass out of here, and like convincing a demon to help me.
There was a lot of lore there.
Why the fuck is there so many pillows in here?
It's a fort.
Jailbirds. This one is called Jailbirds.
Yep.
Okay. Upon going through the Ivory Valor and seeing vampires in the bathhouse, you find yourselves in jail. Was there a moment in time you thought the story was going to end badly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Everything from that point getting attacked onward.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean, you got time ravaged.
yeah. That was in jail.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know
You
that.
got hit with that spell. It gave me 30 days.
That was
to
in
live.
jail. That was in the Ivory Valor.
I don't think we ever resolved that in the
Yes,
end
we did.
either.
Yes, we did. He
Yeah,
wished
I-
on it.
Yeah, we did.
He never took the wish back.
Yeah. He never took the wish back.
Okay.
So she was permanently fixed.
Okay.
What are you biking? When you were at the jailhouse, did you ever think that okay, this is gonna get really bad?
Nope.
No. Timber?
I was like, yep, this is where I die.
I
Yeah,
wasn't there.
I was
So.
Muscle my way out of it.
I was just more upset than anything.
With the whole vampire stuff, I was like, oh, I'm about to unleash a can of whoop ass. And then that didn't happen because somebody else stepped in. And I was like, dang it! I was just about to go and set everybody on fire.
Now, Frank, you have a question? What's your question?
This is for these three.
Okay.
Because other than Timber had more. I want to say seniority of DMing because you did it in college.
Yeah.
But most you three, that was, or at least you two, that was your first time DMing. Period. So, what is a big takeaway from just the experience overall? Being on the other side of that seat, being on the other side of that screen, as it were. What is a big takeaway? I mean, even you, because you had rust, you were still learning. You had a little bit more knowledge, but I mean,
Yeah, but it'd been a
I
year.
was a becking call away on
It's-
a radio show. So
It's a lot of work.
What's a big take?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. There's a lot of planning that you have to do.
And, you know, like we say, come up with a plan, stick to the plan, execute the plan gets all fucked up, new plan. And that is,
And it's
you all, I'm speaking from experience, Chaos Goblins.
Thank you.
your
I am-
definition.
I am very strategic in my thinking. I am methodical. I am detail oriented to the fucking letter. I come up with scenarios that you guys wouldn't even think of, and apparently those scenarios that I try to cover, you guys fucking undo.
We're driving on the bridge. What's that?
I was looking at the one thing you told me after the cameras were off the next day. What you said.
I don't even remember. I've said a lot of things to you.
You said that you have a whole new respect
For DM, yes.
because of what all has to go through.
I think you actually also mentioned that in our prior throwing shades.
I probably did.
And I'll say that this is what if you're becoming a new DM, you're starting out, reach out to a veteran one, because
If you know one.
yeah, if you know one,
But there's
Not
also
only that, just the experience behind it.
well, here's why I say that, Frank, because I made a segment out of it, doing it on a radio show, playing Dungeons and Dragons with Arian as my witness. I would call old Frank to say, "Hey, I got a question. I have looked it up. I have done my research. I didn't want to bother you at work. I need help."
Help. I need
But what for you? You sat behind that seat. What is one key thing you experienced that maybe either A, you wish you knew a little more about, or something that you learned while being a DM about the game we play?
I'm being
I'm gonna
quiet
think-
'cause I'll have my chance later.
I'm thinking on that. Viking had something. I'll let him go first.
The proud moment.
be proud of us.
It's different from being a player.
It's not all about killing,
No.
taking out the parties. You want them to succeed too.
But you
But you
push us
put-
sometimes, so that way we get that extra nudge
Of course, you
to
hit that
perform
breaking
better.
point. That's what you need.
Arian, you got to do a one shot and learn what it was to be a DM. How'd that feel? And would you do it again?
Yes, because I'm already planning on it, and I've been planning on it since before I even agreed to help DM for stuff in the first place. Because I'm a really big fan of Alice in Wonderland, so I'm kind of creating my own kind of one-shot-esque campaign thing for that particular tale, just because I love it so much. But when it comes to being a DM, prep more than what you think you need, but not more than what you have to.
Not looking for tips, looking for your own personal experience.
That's
You wish you would have planned out more, or
yes, because you guys did a lot of what I had planned for, but also there was some stuff that I prepped for you guys to
Like the
experience.
battle that we didn't do.
Yes and no. Part of Icewind Dale is the hotel part. And there is a song that the innkeeper there is singing whenever you guys walk in. I prepped that song for you guys. I physically sang it, recorded it, so that I could use it during the session, and then we ended up not going to the hotel. So that's what I mean by prep more than what you think, just in case you need it, but, don't create, a whole extra thing if you don't need it. Yes, but not if you end up not using it. Like,
But
I
have it
didn't
not
use
used,
that
not used.
particular thing at all.
what about you two? What about you two? Would you
I-
ever want to take a
Oh,
shot behind the?
we've literally, this is another thing we dished out last night for like an hour,
Oh yeah.
hour and a half.
Would
Yeah.
you ever want to sit behind the?
I
DM?
told her one of
Yes.
the ones I have that I'm working on. No,
I
it's
have
it's
four
very
that I
nice
would
little
love
mindfuck.
to do.
It is both easier because you don't have to worry about playing a character that reacts.
You got DMs all around.
I will
see-
say that I love having like a change in DM. It like especially having it like in between like the campaign. I loved that because it like I don't know.
You see the styles of everything.
Yeah.
It's like seasoning.
And
like the
then
proper
having
seasoning
like
too.
Arian do her one shot, I will say, you three it's like a horror movie. And then Arian's is like, oh look at that, beautiful trees. It's a whimsical.
Yes, so that's
But I love it though.
I did it on purpose
So many
because
different
we're so
flavors.
used to.
So many different flavors.
So yes, but the thing is like when I do games, I'm a very cozy game player. I'm a very laid back game player. I don't like my games to stress me out for the most part. So I was like, hey, I want to do something that's going to be kind of story driven. I want to do something that's going to be fun for you guys to experience. Because at the end of the day, what I want you guys to experience when playing this game or playing with me is I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy it. I don't want you to walk away from it being like, oh, that absolutely sucked. Or, oh, I have something negative that I really felt about this particular session. So that was one thing that was important to me is very much player experience. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna prep all this, but I'm also gonna throw in some fun elements. Like Its whole thing was something I completely created because she was not involved at all. It is not a part of the module. It is not something you guys had to do in any case whatsoever. I threw her in because I was like, okay, I already have this character prepped. And also, this is going to be an extra fun thing for you guys to do. And it's going to be an extra story element that we can work in later. So that's why I'm like, okay. So keep in mind who you're playing with, and where you want to go.
So this last one is called There and Back Again. Get to that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Coming back to where it all began, how did it feel to come full circle? Who would like to start this one? We're gonna let you. Okay.
It's done. It's finally fucking done.
Follow-up question: how'd you feel about all the flutes?
Fuck the flutes.
Who wants to go next? We'll have this.
I'll go only because for me, this is not a full circle. This is a
But you got to hear
straight
some
line.
of the stories of this too.
This is a straight line. So the whole tale of everyone being like, "Oh, I'm done, thank God." I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm cool with that, but like also at the same time, I feel like if there was something more that we wanted to do with Amari, in theory, that is also something that could happen. Because the ending for her is not 100% set in stone.
Yeah.
This is another role she has taken on. So I'm like, it is fabulous that you guys got to have the ending for the characters that you wanted, especially for playing these particular characters for so long. Being like,
It's done.
you're done. Oh my God, you're done. Because as someone who has spent years and years and years playing a game, I'm like,
Technically 10.
For this whole campaign. You know what? I'll go over to Frank. Because yes, you've played Satori, who was a part of Grievous, you've played Kalan, you've had these worlds, but you, from what I've heard, even the part I came into, I started 7 years ago in this campaign. Yep.
If you talk about the first campaign,
Yeah.
But
For you.
you guys played a lot longer with this continuation. But you have finally gotten to put a closed book, and a good note for Grievous. You finally got to close the book on Grievous, who's played for, you said, over 10 years or more. How does it feel to finally close that book?
Grievous, I started playing when I was 16, almost 20 years ago.
I was 1.
Did you feel like you almost?
Almost
Hush.
20. almost 20 years ago, I played him my first time ever. We played in AD&D or 2nd edition,
I was 8. Don't feel bad.
and I wanted. I saw the paladin. I saw what all they did.
Feel my bones
I
creaking. Stop
wanted
it.
to play that. And then the course of all of the times I was DM, I used him as an enemy.
Did you feel like happy, but did you feel like sad? I was trying to fathom
felt
the right
relieved.
word for it. Relieved, but
He
happy
finally
tears
had
for like this campaign finally is at a close.
he finally had not a revelation that he found purpose based off his backstory, based off everything that has happened to him in the story, to have the final, like the close. You know what I mean? He got the renewed purpose he needed. He got to fix what was wrong by him, and then he made sure that it never happened again. So it's the more. It wasn't so happy or sad. It was relief. 'Cause he's never died once.
Would you ever want to do like either a mini campaign or like a one shot of like a
Like follow up.
Follow up of where they are now.
I mean, yeah.
We gotta get Balverix off the streets,
Dad.
man.
Dad. Dad.
You're a homeless man right now.
He's
Dad.
That's a
I
fine-
know.
I have a good plan.
I'm done.
With Bellers.
The story is closed.
Alright.
I mean, I do see a follow up of like
Dad.
where they're at now.
Nope, Dad.
I mean, come on.
No.
Not playing the
I'm-
characters.
I am
perhaps?
100% done.
With Bellers.
Balverix.
No.
The book is closed.
Nell, however, might be open.
That's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
That's a different one.
How does it feel coming full circle? Especially with all this, and you got to see Henshin just for a little bit. He's like,
That was
Henshin's a bitch.
It really wasn't Henshin.
Well, he's dead,
Listen.
so.
yeah. That was straight fuck you from Frank.
It was, no, it wasn't.
That to me, that's what I felt like. I'm like, oh, we got Henshin back. Like it's not Henshin,
I
motherfucker.
had to put a wrench in our guys' plan.
It's like,
To be
God
fair,
damn it.
there wasn't really
Alright.
much of a plan.
Well, then we're gonna move on.
upon hearing of a festival for the Ascension, did you trust it was real or a trap, and why? Bones thought the whole thing was a fucking trap. I will admit that. Did not trust a damn soul.
Yeah, I thought this was a trap.
Which is why I had to make sure that that necklace wasn't like I'm gonna end up getting shackled or something.
Yeah, listen, and knowing this motherfucker or how
Or
he
first.
thinks, I was like,
He
this
pulled
would
down
been the
recommended.
this would have been the perfect time to spring a trap on us. And I'm sitting there going, I'm waiting for something bad to happen. One of these places we're going into.
That one.
Okay, see, the only reason why I wasn't concerned is because I knew Lucy was involved with the planning. Is I was like, okay, Lucy's going to make sure
Or
that
was she?
Grievous. Well, I mean, if it's being held, I pretty much assumed that Lucy had kind of taken over guardianship of the town while she was there, because Grievous was going to be too busy preparing for the ritual and making sure the day-to-day operations happen, that Lucy was pretty much going to be the primary spearhead for that particular festival. So I was like, okay, if she's handling it, it should be fine.
Real quick, Viking, did you feel it was a trap? Or did you feel like the festival was real?
Eh.
Okay. Here's a quick fun one.
What were your thoughts on your dates?
Just real quick, what are your thoughts?
Annoying as fuck.
You got voluntold on that one.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
it was an interesting element. I don't know if it would have gone anywhere.
Because you have that demon waiting for you, so that's signals.
Well, it was more just I was focused on you for the most part and keeping you safe and making sure that bad decisions weren't happening. So I was like,
There was already bad decisions happening.
So for me, it might have been an interesting friendship. Not sure if it would have escalated from there. Also, wasn't sure what the interest really was from that other person.
You were interested in protecting her, so what would have happened if you would have saw Lucy and Grievous like macking out in the corner?
I protect. Stop. She needs to breathe.
You'd be like that date referee. Nope, 10 feet apart. 10 feet apart.
No,
Is it gonna book
it
this?
probably it would have been like a
That dress is too short.
No, because she's worn worse outfits probably, but
Coming from you, who walked around stark ass naked.
okay. Friends wise,
We were
I'm
all friends. We all
not
saw
going
you
to cock
walk naked.
block. I'm not gonna cock block. Friends wise, but like
I will.
in terms, yes.
No, you'll
That's
squawk
somebody
walk.
else's problem.
No, somebody's gonna.
As
the
long
middle of
as
the night.
Lucy's not in physical danger, like I'm not worried for her safety, then we're cool.
What'd you think of?
It was a fun story element.
You liked it?
It was unique.
guys got
You guys over there were fucking going ham. Fucking
We
going
had
so
a
hard
nice
for
little group chat that was like shipping. We're like, I have a lot of
It brought
memes
up
that I
a
have
very touching
collected
episode
from
where
TikTok edits.
It brought out an emotion about Varys we didn't see.
Not since the last campaign.
You know, that sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's thinking, oh, you know, this character is, you know, he talked to all the gods. He's God touched. He is maybe a messiah or the next.
But they got to see your
Bahamut.
heart.
But they got exactly. They got to see your heart.
Especially because, like, as someone who didn't experience the first campaign, I really knew nothing about Valverix other than
You didn't know he went that way.
well, because it wasn't really something that was brought up. It was more just
Obviously, we don't judge, but
it
that
was
was a surprise to some people.
It was serious situation. We didn't have time to be like,
Now,
oh hey, by the way, this is where we're at.
because someone's character had mentioned something, curious minds have asked us, and we wish to know, what was Amari's feelings towards Lucy?
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
that
I can't anymore.
okay, that really could have went either way. It could have been
That's a question.
because the thing is, it really depends on how deep the emotional attachment went. It honestly could have escalated into a situation, and
This is tea
we
for us.
didn't really have the time to kind of go into that. But especially with the way that she kind of behaved, it could have leaned kind of either way.
So
Especially in the Raven
was-
Queen's domain.
Was you protecting her, wanting to protect her,
A jealousy?
a jealousy or like an actual friendship thing,
Um,
or like
a little bit of
if
both.
anything, if he did anything to you, I'm going to kill him.
Yes.
Swoop in and be like, that's my woman.
That was
Well, I know
the
that was
sweep
your
in and
idea,
kill
but
him, regardless, was kind of where she was
I
leaning.
wonder if I should have changed tactics. It shouldn't have been Lucy. It should have been Amari.
I mean, that would have been probably the harder person to win over. I'm gonna be for real honest, but like it could have
but
been
would it have happened?
probably.
Our source of wants to know.
Well, I mean, we didn't really get the time to discuss that.
Viking, when they say don't go towards the light, that's not what they
No.
meant.
We do want to ask, because you kind of what we call whiplash, jet fuel, all that fun stuff near the end, the nightmares or the invasion of the mind that we had during one of the
Oh, you
sessions.
bastard.
What were your thoughts on the nightmares? Like very brief. What were
I
your
was
thoughts?
right.
Mainly, what I wanted to do was give a sense of help. That was the biggest thing. You guys were on a roll, and it was okay. We got, with the books that Lucy and Amari were trying to do, we're trying to learn about Grievous and trying to stop him. Halfway through, when we were on the train, I wanted to throw those nightmares out to give a sense of doubt and to throw fuel on the fire with those dreams that it could have been, could you take the power? My main focus was, can I draw a wedge enough to make it a free for all that everybody wanted this power? That way you wouldn't work together as a team to either guarantee an outcome or not. I wanted to drive the wedge to see if I could separate the group, because 75% you guys are working individual. You guys didn't show team. Then when you started to go teamwork, I'm like, wow, maybe I could still drive that wedge to get you back on individualities instead of let's work together as a team.
I was trying so hard.
I mean, honestly, it was also kind of a point where we didn't really have the stake in the game with each other to want to work together. Like, nobody had kind of officially marked themselves as like the head of the group. If it was Frank. So we were kind of just doing our own thing because we didn't really have any separate stake in the game until like Frank. So yeah, I think that was something we might have wanted to work more is why do I care about you? Like, why do I care about Lucy? Why do I care about Bones as individual players? Because, like, I don't really give a crap about your village. I ain't got nothing to do with your village. We might not even be from the same point in time. In fact, I'm almost 100% certain we're not. So, there isn't anything that I can do to help you. So, why do I want to help you? Whereas with Lucy's is the actual situation that we're dealing with right now. This is the deciding factor. This is what the task the gods have given us, is to either see this through to the end or to change the course that has been set. Your set course has already happened. But, like, I have no stake in your game. So when it comes to your stuff, it's like, okay, why do I care? Bones pretty much had her life set out for her. She was tasked by the Raven Queen to kind of make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to. Her task has been set.
And I was shown everything, and Ryu wouldn't listen.
Well, the thing is also is we were all shown different things too.
Go real quick. Quick answer.
Arian rambled on for a hot second. What was the question again?
Your thoughts on the nightmares.
Oh, I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass, but it was going to be either Frank convinced us that we were fucked or it was stay the course. So,
all right. Well, real quick on this one, and then we have one more question, and we're done. What were your thoughts on Ryu's wish in turning Valverix to stone as a consequence?
Not what I was expecting to happen out of that. Because I thought if I could go back, I'd reword it a little bit better.
You have to know, whenever you saved you saved your home, Sapphire was no longer captured. So a soul has to be taken.
I know. If I had been smart, what I would have done is use that moment of clarity first, and then the wish. Because then, and I could have used that little bit of to think about it better. Because then I could have had a better shot at disrupting the ritual.
Aaron?
Not, as I said, not really something that I expected to have happen, only because But I mean, that also kind of changed the whole course of what we did happen. So then it would have been a backlog of plotline, be like, okay, so did this happen? Did this not happen? Because the reason why we got Balverix in the first place is because we had that clash of souls. So if we don't have the clash of souls, was Balverix just... Well, did that change Grievous completely? Because if Balverix didn't unbecome stone, then what happened there? So, wasn't 100%, but I mean, that was also a lot we would have had to do to figure stuff
And
out.
her job just got messier.
Yes. So, that could have been a different kind of plot point. Been like, okay, well, what happened? But, it was kind of just proceed.
Next one. This is a two-part question. This is the last question for the night. How did you think it was going to end, and what are your thoughts on how it actually ended? Actually, you know what? We'll do this with the DM first. How did you think it was going to end, and what were your thoughts on how it ended?
I had two paths for that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So either he's destroyed, and somebody takes the seat of power, or he ascends and eradicates and changes the world. How it happened, I didn't see it coming. You know, a personal sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
to save everybody. To me, you guys stuck with her original plan. You wouldn't have to use that wish to save Zephyr. But that was the whole idea of those dreams, was to wedge that to get you to not to get you to start and actually pick a fight to where he would start eradicating Lucy and everybody else. That's why I was driving the wedge. And when you used that wish to save Sapphire, I was like, okay, we're going this way. And then it didn't happen.
Okay, so what I initially thought was going to happen was it was going to be more apparent, oh hey, this is a bad dude. Like, there was going to be more clarity on, okay, initially what I thought was going to happen was the ascension might have happened, but Satori and Grievous were going to merge back into themselves, and then Satori was the one who was going to ascend. That was what I was thinking was going to have happened. In the back of my mind, I was like, okay, if this goes south and, you know, someone starts taking people out, either Wish, we're all getting eradicated, or this is going to turn into a really, really big fight. My thoughts on how it ended, I feel like it kind of got to a point where we were kind of forced to be non-combative with the way that everything was going. Because it was like, okay, you're like, oh, well, we could maybe, you know, have these mercenaries come help us, and that turns into a big old fight. And then it's like, oh, hey, by the way, no. So I was like, okay, so any chance we actually have of doing anything negative or to stop the ritual at all is basically out the window. We can't do anything. If we try to do anything, it's just straight death. There is no point in trying to do anything. There is no reason for us to try to stop the ascension. We have no reason to be here. So it kind of felt like we had gone through all of that kind of for nothing. Because if you were just going to do the ascension anyway, what was the point of us doing anything? Timber?
How did you think it was going to end, and what were your thoughts on how it actually ended?
I honestly thought we were gonna have a bit bigger fight there at the end, and it turned out it was just me, literally a Ryu versus the world, because you were we're trying to protect Lucy and just deal with
I mean, it's true. You did give up and denounce the god to follow Gravis and be a knight to Lucy.
Yeah.
So it would have been Ryan against her. And with Bones watching his back, if he fucked up, she claimed his soul. So what it would have been if everybody went individually and stuck, if you would have just X'd out of the fight and not trying to get close, or try to thwart it earlier, it would have been Ryan versus everybody. Because he was the only one that stayed true to his own path to save his world. To save the valley.
And literally, because honestly, I thought that's what we were gonna get. And as we got into those later episodes, you could see everyone was starting to tail off because Lucy had already said she was going with him. And this is where I kind of felt like, okay, I'm gonna have to play the game of really convincing with everybody, because up until when we left the realm of the gods, the only other person that had my back was Amari.
Yeah.
Going through that, and then I don't know where the fuck it switched.
When she spoke with Bones.
That.
Well, it's also the realizing how much the odds are also stacked against us. Realistically, what our chances? Because you have 6 people that are like, hey, this is not going to work. You've got a Chronos mage who can literally stop time and or back it up. So anything you do is going to get reversed anyway.
I thought that it was going to be a bloodbath and Bones was going to be there just collecting souls.
Well, I could just see the elm in the back, over the fire in the background.
Well, that's even if
Or
Ryu
be
died
going after you and it's going to be like a Tom and Jerry kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which it kind of
Which
did. It kind of did
so-
turn into a
I
Tom and
was
Jerry.
right about that.
It kind of did turn into a Tom and Jerry chase scene, pretty much. But that I honestly thought, because going into the final episode, I thought if this is where Ryu dies, so be. You let him go down in the blaze of glory, defending what he believed. And if that was the case,
Frank, you
but
wanna go
the
out there
only
for a
thing
minute?
that I didn't
Come
change
back in for a minute?
was that last bit where he said with Sapphire.
Alright, guys. Thank you for helping us spill the tea and get some most delightful information, as well as a full wrap up from beginning to end with our dear D20 Misfits. She's Liz.
She's shy.
And we are Roll4Tea. And this is the D20 Misfits. And as we always say from us at the D20 Misfits, and now from us at Roll4Tea,
Good
night.
night.
night.